I know we're going to jinx them by saying this, but I don't think they've had a turnover in the last 4 games since the Union game. The interception that Owen Jones threw late that was picked off by the former Trojan. I think that was Ashton Cunningham who had the pick. That's the last turnover they've had. So
people will now know exactly who to blame when they cough it up tonight.
Exactly. Yours truly. Who's hot, who's not? Brought to you by Innovative Air Pros. Don't get caught with no heat when it gets cooler. And Innovative Air Pros now has plumbing services as well. You can call Cody and Jamie at 918-299-1955. Well, Wagner is red hot. Of course, they're defending champs in the 4A, and they're hosting. They're at Grove tonight. That's a big game. Wagner averaging 48 points a game. And Muskoge's at Sand Springs tonight in a big 6A Division II game, and the Ruffers, the defending champs as well, under Travis Hill, averaging 51 points per game. So we'll keep our eye on those 2 games. We'll be back with the Player Spotlight next on the Jinx Audio Network.
On this field of stars and stripes, champions are born. Here, the Friday night lights offer a different view, where the lines of protection extend from sea to shining sea, and the bravery to tackle challenges extends on and off the field of battle. At Cherokee Federal, we stand with our warfighters. We work 24/7 to build strategic solutions, solve complex challenges, and serve our military and veteran community with compassion and heart. For every star, every stripe, we stand committed to supporting America's greatest team.
When you've got to spend some time away, there's no better place for your best friend to stay than Woodland West Pet Resort. With 17,000 square feet of fun, you can both take a no-guilt vacation. Relax, both of you. Pick up a new skill. Chow down on some well-deserved vacation food. Make new friends. Have a spa day. And finally, come home to your best friend. Woodland West Pet Resort. Sit, stay, and play. Located next to Woodland West Animal Hospital off Highway 75 in the Jenks exit.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
No matter the challenge, rising up has always been the Cherokee way. Adversity and triumph are chiseled into our DNA, which gives us the grit and endurance to go further. For our customers, our employees, and our tribe, we march forward together in the pursuit of excellence. Because we are Cherokee, and together we will rise.
Our pets are more than just pets. They're our people, our family. And when they get sick, we want them to be cared for like family. At Woodland West, pet care is personal. We care for your animals the same way we care for our own. As the most comprehensive facility in the Tulsa area for everything from diagnostics to treatment, you can trust that our team of compassionate veterinary experts are delivering the care your animal deserves. Your pet is always there for you. Let us be there to keep them in good health. Woodland West Animal Hospital.
Night for football here in Moore, south of Oklahoma City. 72 degrees right now. Winds out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour, gusting up to 15 miles per hour. But it is going to be a beautiful night here for football as we get set. Don King, Eric Fox, Rob Labor, as we get our players to bank on. Brought to you by Arvest Bank. And, of course, Arvest Bank with 20 locations in the Tulsa area. Go to arvest.com to find the nearest location for you, as Arvest donates $1 for every point scored tonight to the Trimble Strong Foundation. Right now they're up to $186 for the season. Rob, what's your player? Who's your player to bank on tonight?
Well, it's kind of an obvious choice, but I don't really know that we've talked about him that much in the pregame this season or selected him as our player to bank on this season. But I'm going to go with Owen Jones, guys, the Jinx quarterback, simply because I think he had maybe his best quarter of football last week in the first quarter, going 7 for 8 with a rushing touchdown. He then suffered that mild shoulder injury on that run and did not return, but he is back in the lineup tonight, and I just want to see if he can pick up where he left off, because he really seems to be developing better chemistry week over week with his receivers, seems to be gaining confidence, and his offensive line has really been doing a phenomenal job of protecting him lately, allowing him time in the pocket to make those reads, step up and deliver those throws. So I just want to see Owen Jones keep spinning it, keep stacking up those stats, and I think last week we got a glimpse of exactly how you want your quarterback to be playing at this time of year.
Yeah, he was 7 of 8 in the first quarter for 133 yards, was well on his way to a 200-yard game when he got hurt. Eric, what about you?
Well, I think one of the key reasons for that is the play of my guy, left tackle Riley Kester. Riley has been playing better and better, helped us in the run game, but definitely has given more time for Owen to feel comfortable in that pocket. It's going to be important for for Riley to play well tonight. He's going to be matched up from time to time with number 8, Hayden Stoll, that defensive end, tight end combination, very mobile athlete, agile athlete, great edge rusher. And so there's going to be some times where Riley and Stoll are going to go head-to-head, and I think Riley's going to have a big night, and it's going to have a big effect for both KD's rushing game as well as Owen's passing game.
Very good. And, of course, again, those numbers brought to you by, or the players to bank on, brought to you by Our Best Bank. Our thanks to Woodland West Pet Resort and Animal Hospital, which bring you the player spotlight. Tonight, again, it was Cooper Shockley. Now it's time to go to the Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma injury update with Rob. And, of course, at 81st and Lewis is Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma at AOOK.com, the official team physicians of the Jinx Trojans. Who's out and who's in tonight, Rob?
Well, it looked like, Cash Jacobson was one of the guys that missed last week and thought maybe there was a chance he was going to return to the lineup tonight, but that is not the case. Cash Jacobson, the interior lineman, still out for the Trojans with that high ankle sprain. Malachi Dillard was dinged up at the end of the game last week against Deer Creek, suffered a leg injury late in that game. He is also out of the lineup tonight, but good news, as we mentioned earlier, for the Trojans, their starting quarterback is back in. Owen Jones will start this game, and they get their backup running back in the lineup. Aiden Jordan returns tonight. They've been really thin at that position with the loss of Trey Mays earlier in the year, and it's nice to have somebody just to give KD Jones, a quick breather if he needs one, since he's been the workhorse for that offense. So Cash Jacobson, Malachi Dillard out, Owen Jones, Aiden Jordan in, and that's your injury update.
All right, thank you. Again, brought to you by Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. And keys to the game as the Trojans come out onto the field. Keys to the game brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. Honored to offer you the best in Chevrolet cars, trucks, and SUVs. Open till 8:30 tonight and 8:30 tomorrow night. And Eric Fox, what do the Trojans need to do to win the game tonight?
Well, we should have just recorded my comments the last 3 weeks, right? Because we have another talented quarterback. Mustang had a talented quarterback. Deer Creek had a talented quarterback. The Moore Lions have a talented quarterback. Malachi Miller, he is the key to success on the offense. And so they're going to spy him. They're going to try to put pressure on him. They're going to make sure they try to contain him, but he can't sling it down the field. And so we've got to stop Malachi Miller. That's where it starts on the defensive side of the ball. Offensive side of the ball, we have to just do our thing. Give Owen Jones time to go through his progression, open up some running lanes for KD Jones, win the takeaway battle, Rob, that you mentioned before. So we do those things so we don't, shoot ourselves in the foot, then we're going to be okay. But they have talked about this week they have to have focus and they have to finish. It's going to take 4 quarters tonight of focus and finish. If we do that, we're going to get out of here with the W.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the way the offensive line has progressed over the last few weeks, too. Really opening up some lanes, not just a few times a game, but consistently. And we know that from what we've seen, when this team can run the ball with KD Jones and you set him loose, big things can happen for this offense that weren't happening earlier in the season, but they seem to have figured it out up front.
Here come the Moore Lions onto the field, and of course they're in their all-blue uniforms with white numerals, blue helmets. As we look out our window to see the uniform descriptions, Jinx in their white jerseys, maroon pants, and their maroon helmets. They've won 5 of the last 6 in this uniform combination. The only time they've worn that this year, I believe, was at Bigsby, and they lost that game. Those uniform descriptions brought to you by Window World of Tulsa. Hope things are looking good out your window. If not, and with the cooler weather coming up and not efficient with regard to keeping your home warm, you need to check out Window World of Tulsa. Starting lineups brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Tulsa. You can follow them on Instagram, X, and all other social media platforms. Here, there's the Trojan defense. You mentioned Cash Jacobson is out, so Rhett Pangburn will get the start tonight at one defensive end, Jack Wiltshire at the other. Luke McAnally is the nose guard and having a heck of a year. Had a great game last week. Sam Stone is at one outside linebacker. 8th career interception last week, which tied him for 4th most in Trojan history. Also on the outside is Brody Henderson, having a great year, a senior, 6'5", 205. Inside linebackers are Jack McAnally, leading tackler on the team, 6 foot 210 senior, and Jace Hager, 5'9", 190 senior. The cornerbacks, DJ Carter, 5'11", 160 senior, and Cooper Shockley, whom we heard from earlier, 5'10", 160 senior. The strong safety, Samaj Stanford, 6 foot 175 sophomore, 2-year starter, and Clark Carricker gets the start at free safety. He is a sophomore in place of Caleb Dillard. So there is a look at the starting lineup defensively. Offensively, Riley Kester at left tackle, Javion Anti at left guard, Zach Cox returning center. Right guard is Malik Craig and Odafe Aruru, sophomore at right tackle at 280. Tight ends Jack McAnally. Wide receivers are Jalen Cato, Nate Domek. Malachi Dillard is out, so we'll see who starts in his place. Running back K.D. Jones, the quarterback Owen Jones, and Noah Carter is the kicker, and he kicks this one out of bounds, trying to pooch it at the 10-yard line. And so Moore will start 1st and 10, and they'll get some good field position here.
Looked like he was just kind of aiming that for that dead spot right about the numbers and just chipped it a little bit farther outside than he wanted to. So I know it's good to have Rob up here in the box tonight, not down on the field, so it's a little different feel, but this is not the field position that Coach Gator wanted to give him to start with.
No, not the way you want to start the game. I think the Trojans have done a much better job, again, throughout the season, kind of managing and limiting those penalties and those self-inflicted mistakes, but never makes the coach happy to see that ball fly out of bounds on the opening kick.
Malachi Miller out of the pistol formation. Again, Maverick Gardner is one of the 3 receivers. Now the running back to the right hip of the quarterback, who play actions and throws quickly, and it's off the shoulder pad and picked up by Carricker at the 40, to the 20, inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. That a way to start the game.
That's a better start the Coach Gator wanted to see. Yeah, and actually Miller does a nice job finding an open receiver. He has the play action. He fakes the dive and has a receiver open on a just inside pattern there, right on the hash, but it goes off the receiver's hands. And Carricker, who's starting for Dillard tonight, since Dillard's been ill most of the week, does a great job of picking it off and getting down in that red zone.
Looked like a really nice fluid start, too, because the fake was good. The man was open, just went right through his hands.
So the Trojans start on offense now. Second play of the game. McAnally in motion as the tight end to the right near side. Trojans go left or right, throw to the near side. Coming this way is the tight end McAnally for basically no gains. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Making the handoff there to KD to the left and coming back and hitting that H-back. Jack McAnally, who's shown good hands, and he's actually lined up in a stacked formation out here as a wide receiver now.
Give him actually a yard, if you will, so they'll move it to the 16, 2nd and 9. Handoff KD going left, cut down at the 15-yard line. Nice play there by Braylon Heron, sophomore defensive lineman.
That time they're bringing McAnally from a stacked wide receiver position in motion as the play goes and develops. He's out there to kick the defensive end out and have KD come up underneath, and their nose guard just folded back and stopped KD after a very short pickup.
Gain of only 1, so it's 3rd and 8 from the Moore 15-yard line. 4th play of the game, and Owen Jones is sacked. He gets run over back at the 22-yard line. That's that edge rusher we were talking about, Hayden Stahl, Stull, I think it was.
Well, I think that was the linebacker.
Yeah, Dalton
Mays came in on a blitz there. So just they were up on him very, very quickly, and so going to bring on the field goal unit.
So Tim Foreman will try a field goal. This will be a 39-yard attempt. Jake Flowers to hold. Sam McEwen, a sophomore, will do the snapping. Snap's good. Kicks on its way. It's got the distance to our right, and it's no good. So the Trojans have been a little bit of an adventure this year in field goal kicking between Foreman and Carter. Foreman is 3 of 5, which is pretty good. Carter's 1 of 5. So right now, 4 of 10 on field goal attempts this year.
Well, you hate to give away that possession, right? Your defense does a great job of getting the pick on the very first play of the game and getting you down inside the red zone, and then you really have no production. You end up with a sack and put you back for a loss, and you miss a field goal opportunity. So they'll want to get some stuff correct.
So the ball at the 20-yard line. Here's a running play for little or no gain. 2 minutes into the game, no score. Running back there was number 15, Elijah Moon, a senior. Ozias Adams is their number 1 running back, number 20, a sophomore. He's had some big games this year for them.
And they're actually going to go kind of a no-back formation here, except for a kind of a sniffer H-back in there.
Gain of a yard, and that's being generous, so it's 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line. Back to pass is Miller. Throws out in the flat near side. It overthrows his receiver, Jaden Williams.
So they had 3 wide receivers into their boundary, and they just have a quick out route there into the flat, and not able to hit him there. So this is obviously a big 3rd down play, Rob.
Yeah, it's been a nice start for this Trojan defense so far. Like you said, just a shame that the Trojan offense couldn't turn that turnover into points.
So 3rd and 9 at the 21-yard line for Malachi Miller. He's put up some impressive numbers. Started his career at Santa Fe and throws here in the flat. Caught, but short of the first down at the 25. Tackled immediately by the Trojan Samaj Stanford. On the catch is Andre Lee.
Nice play right there. Again, they're in no back. They have the H sniffer that's in there. They've got 4 wide receivers. They bring 1 across to have 3 on their side of the field here. They just go for an inside curl right there and make the catch, and it's a quick throw and catch, but Samaj is right there to cut him down after he makes that catch.
So a gain of 5 makes it 4th and 4. Here's the snap back for the punt. And there is the kick by Miller. And it's a good one over Stanford's shoulder and retreating. And the ball rolls inside the 20-yard line. Wow. It's a 55-yard kick.
I think Samaj wish he has that back. If he would have been about 5 yards deeper, I think he'd had a chance to go ahead and catch that. He tried to make an over-the-shoulder catch, but the ball just kind of sailed on him a little bit, and then took a great bounce for the Lions. And again, that Malachi Miller, their quarterback, also their punter, does a nice job of turning the field. That's what you do, flip the field, right?
Well, and I think given the position that Samaj was in, he probably made the right decision there. Thought about trying for that over the shoulder, and then thought that's going to be a tough catch for me. I don't want this thing to glance off my fingertips and hit the turf. So even though it took a big role for the Lions, probably the right decision there for Samaj Stanford.
Zach Cox with the snap to Owen Jones. Hands off to Caden Jones, known as KD. And across the 20, from the 18 up to the 23, and a gain of 5.
So on the first offensive series, guys, they did have Samaj Stanford at the wide receiver position along with Cato and Domek in place of Malachi Dillard. Caleb Barnett is out there now on the far sideline.
Ninth meeting between these two schools. Jinx has won all 8. Here's a pass down the sideline, and it's a beauty down at the 40-yard line, over the shoulder catch by Barnett. Are they going to give it to him?
They said he got it.
Yeah. Wow, that was pretty.
Rob on the call, right? Make sure you spotlight Caleb Barnett being in the game for the Trojans. All he does is he turns on that track speed, runs past the corner, and then Owen airs it out. If we wonder how that shoulder's feeling, it must have felt pretty good on that bomb right there.
That was a 44-yard connection from Owen Jones to Caleb Barnett. Here's KD going left, gummed up, down at the 30. That'll be a gain of 3.
And I think that's why they call it a go route, right? There's not a lot to that. It's just go, Caleb, go. And a beautiful throw from Owen Jones. I mean, hitting him in stride, just a dime from Owen Jones here early in the game.
Let's give it up for Caleb, too, because that is not an easy catch.
No.
The height and the angle that ball is coming down and it's dropping right on top of him. And so Caleb does a nice job of finishing that play.
So after KD gets 3, it's 2nd and 7 at the Moore 30. No score. Getting to the midway mark of this first quarter. Owen Jones looks to the sidelines to offensive coordinator Jay Wilkinson to get the call. Gets the snap. Good protection. Now he breaks down and he's flushed out, coming right, throws. And what a catch at the 6-yard line, falling out of bounds. That might be the best catch for the sophomore, Jalen Cato, this season.
Well, Owen is kind of scrambling there, and Cato reads that, and he breaks towards the sidelines. Good scramble drill right there. And Owen puts that into place. The defender tries to jump the route. And so Cato not only makes a great catch on the sidelines, he's doing it with the distraction of the defender breaking right in front of him. Great haul right there.
Gain of 23 yards. Here's KD. Pushing forward inside the 5 from the 7, giving 4 yards to the 3-yard line.
Going back to that last reception by Cato, I think the defender would like to have that one back. He tried to undercut it and sort of misplayed that ball, just didn't judge it properly. I think if he had stayed on Cato and kind of timed his jump a little differently, he had a chance to break that up. But the result was a fantastic catch by Jalen Cato, and to have the body control to come down inbounds with that as well.
He has really been on fire the last few weeks. Here's KD over the right guard, pushing forward to the goal line. No touchdown signal. They'll say he stopped a half a yard outside the goal line. So that'll bring up 3rd and goal. And our referee tonight, by the way, is Robert Morales. Craig Aker, Justin Pineo, Joe Morales, and Nick Bates, the rest of the crew.
Yeah, that is inside the 1-yard line, so that is just about a football length away from pay dirt.
Tush push territory.
We don't do that, though.
Jack McAnally in motion. Owen Jones, handoff KD, and he's in. That's a touchdown for the Trojans midway here in the first quarter.
Nice job by KD. He actually takes a hit right about the time that he gets the ball right there. They're having the corner crash in on a blitz, and he's able to not only keep his feet, keep his concentration, secure the ball, and get the Trojans on the point column.
Only 3rd down of the drive. 82-yard drive. Here's the kick by Noah Carter to our right. Here at Moore, and it is good. So there's a break in the action with 6:04 to go, opening period. It is the Trojans 7 and the Moore Lions nothing. You're listening to Trojan Football on the Jinx Audio Network and Trojan TV.
Delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
Area 918 get Roof the kickoff into the end zone, and so Moore will take over with their 3rd possession of the game at the 20-yard line.
So Rob, we talked about the offense. They had a short field and came away with no points, and then we talked about how the field got flipped on them. They had to go 82 yards. That was a highly effective and efficacious offensive drive right there.
Well, I don't know what efficacious means, but I'll take your word for it.
I haven't heard that one before. Here's a pass out in the flat, caught, but at the line of scrimmage is Miller's number 7. And that's complete to number 5, Andre Lee.
I'm convinced Coach Fox has like a word Rolodex that he's spinning before the game.
I keep checking the PSAT word of the day.
There you go.
Our list we give our kids, all those national merit semifinalists. Rob, I got to stay up with it.
You're trying to, they're rubbing off on you a little bit. Yeah, I think the offense thought that first one was just a little bit too easy. They like the look of going 80 yards, a little more impressive. for a touchdown.
2nd and 10. Here's Miller going to try to run for the first time. Bounces outside and caught by Stanford up, who makes the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
I talked to Samaj before the game a little bit, and I said, man, I'm really excited for you tonight. And Rob and I were talking pregame. I kind of wanted him to be my player to bank on, and Rob said I was trying to will him into success tonight. And so far, he's come up big on a couple of defensive stops, and that one was one on a great athlete, Rob, out on the edge all by himself. If he doesn't bring Miller down, Miller's probably going to get the first down.
He's made 2 really good tackles early in this game, and one thing that's kind of underrated about Samaj's game, I think, is his tackling. Pretty sure when he gets his hands on guys that they're going to hit the turf.
No question. Back to pass. Miller flushed out. He'll run it to the 26-yard line, chased out by one of the Trojans and finally caught, so it'll bring up a 4th down and 3.
Brody Henderson was given good pursuit from the backside, flushing him out, and then I think as he's running him down, Pangburn is the one, and he and Wiltshire actually kind of finish him off there. But they stop him short, but they still have their offensive unit. I would think they're going to go a hard count, but they're going to back him up too, since he is the punter.
Yeah, the quarterback, Miller, had a great punt last time of 56 yards. He kicks this one away from Stanford. Big bounce over Stanford's head to the 35 and down at the 33-yard line. A 40-yard kick this time.
Rob, that is the most nonchalant punter I've seen. This looks like you out on the green, on the driving range, just working on your chip shots, man. He just gets that thing up there.
Just like a 3/4 pitching wedge,
It works.
Yeah, I wish mine looked that smooth. Yeah.
We could say it's efficacious.
There's a lot to unpack in my swing, as there is with that word, with your vocabulary as well.
4:01 to go first quarter. Trojans leading 7-0. Get the ball back at their 32-yard line. Trojan football brought to you by Matt McCoy Insurance. He sponsors the halftime report. We'll see who Eric Fox's guest is at halftime. And Rob Labors. There's Owen Jones throwing outside toward the Jinx bench for Barnett, incomplete.
And I'm not sure. Caleb turned inside there. Owen put the ball outside. I'm not sure if they were reading the corner there to look for where the ball needed to be, but Caleb definitely had some distance between him and the corner, and so definitely wish we would have that one back to get it completed, because that was a good route and a good scheme.
2nd down and 10. Here's a quick pass to Cato. Curls inside, but caught and down at the 36, and a flag goes down.
It's got to be a face mask. It just looked like Cato's head was about to come around his body, a little bit like The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like that was Sam Darnold in the end zone the other night, but that one didn't get called, did it?
There's 3 hankies down on this one, so I think this one got called.
Yeah. And Moore is already moving backwards, so that'll bring up a 1st down for the Trojans. Their 3rd here of the opening quarter, leading 7-0. Moves it up near midfield, in fact, past midfield to the Moore 49-yard line. KD coming off a big game last week, 113 yards rushing, had 3 catches, 2 for touchdowns, and he's down the middle. Bust 1 tackle and carries another one with him to the 1st down marker inside the 40 to the 38.
And that looked like several of the other runs where he's just kind of been stopped after 4 yards or 5 yards. But the difference was he kept churning there, and he just does a great job of softening up that defensive middle. And so what starts out as 3 and 5 yard runs ends up being 10, 12, and longer.
Gain of 11, 1st and 10 at the Moore 38-yard line. Owen Jones steps back, fires outside, making a nice catch over his head is KD. Stopped at the 35-yard line, just inside the 35. A short gain of 3, but what a catch.
And they're just moving him around. They're getting him in different places. It just makes it really hard for the defense to be able to key on him.
Owen Jones off to a nice start, 5 of 6 passing for 75 yards. So 2nd and 7 from the Lion 35-yard line. And I think the Trojans moved where Moore jumped off sides.
I think Moore was stemming to try to show a twist in the middle there, and just got a little bit antsy.
Moves it back to the 40-yard line. Thanks for joining us tonight on 1170 AM, KOTV AM, News on 6 now, the News on 6 app, in your car, 106.9 FM HD2, JinxTrojanFootball.com, and thanks for being with us on Trojan TV tonight. Wyatt Schumann and Mason Prince making sure things are going well there as Owen Jones throws a screen caught in the flat by Barnett. He gets by one defender, but he's going to get caught in the backfield. Too many blue shirts there.
Yeah, that was a screen, and we see Riley Kester is actually out there on a corner about the 30-yard line, and actually Riley pulled down the line to kick out that corner, but unfortunately there were a lot of blue shirts just keying on that. As soon as Caleb got the ball, he didn't really have much of a place to go.
Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. So it's 3rd and 12 from the Moore 40 after the penalty. Owen Jones again, a down and out, and through the hands of Sam Stone at the 35, well short of the first down.
Yeah, that's not something you see very often, Rob, is the ball got away from Sam there. He was really close to the sideline, so maybe try to pay attention to where his feet are, but it went through his hands. Of course, he wouldn't have been enough for the first down anyway.
Yeah, even if he makes that catch, a minimal gain probably of only 3 or 4 yards, and he had some momentum going. We're moving the ball those first couple plays of the drive, and that one penalty just kind of squashed it for the Trojans, but looks like they're keeping the offense on the field here.
Yeah, at the Moore 40, 4th and 12, leading 7-0. Minute 47 left in the opening quarter, and Owen gets the shotgun snap, steps up, fires deep, and tipped away, incomplete, inside the 25-yard line, looking for Sam Stone again, and knocked away by Jaden Williams.
Yeah, we actually had Sam was running a bench route right there, and I think that was Samaj who was on the outside that was running an in route, and I thought for a moment on his break that Samaj was open, but Sam was there. It was just a tough window to get the ball into, and you go for it on 4th and 12. At least your defense is playing well, but you'd like to get something out of that if you're going to roll that dice.
Yeah, good field position for the Lions, but again, a lot of faith in this defense. Right now, I think Moore has run 7 offensive plays. They have yet to pick up a first down.
Mm-hmm. Miller back, quick pass. That one's overthrown up near midfield. DJ Carter on the coverage.
DJ Carter does a nice job. The receiver still has a chance to make the catch, but DJ is right there to put a hit on him about the time the ball arrives, and so I do know that makes those wide receivers a little bit nervous when they hear the footsteps of those DBs.
And speaking of DBs, Caleb Dillard back in there now for the Trojans. We saw that Clark Carricker started the game in his place, had that early interception, but Caleb Dillard back out there now.
Caleb not feeling well this week. Running play, nowhere to go. Wow. Elijah Moon with his second carry of the night, and he is stuck at the line of scrimmage.
Jack McAnally it's like a low-level single right there. He just picks up that heel and just gets him to the ground, and this offensive unit has really no ability to run the ball against this Trojan defense right now.
They do not. They have a total of 1 yard rushing, and or about 8 yards rushing. Miller has most of that. He breaks through 2 tackles, gets a first down to the 50, and falls forward to the Jinx 44-yard line.
And this is why the coaches said he's the key, right? I mean, they have him hemmed up in the backfield. He's able to squirt out of that. Then they have him at linebacker level. They miss shots there. Then they have him at a safety level, and they don't bring him down. And so this is why this guy is so dangerous.
I thought they had him 7 or 8 yards downfield there, and he was going to stop him short, and he just split the 2 defenders like it was nothing.
Got 16 out of it. 1st and 10 at the Jinx 44-yard line. Moore down to Jinx 7-0. Here's a running play. Moon breaks loose over left guard and picks up 3 yards from the 44 to the 41.
Yeah, Miller will get some credit for running yardage on that last play, obviously, but that was a scramble for your life, and then he just uses his athleticism to get into the open field, and this is why the coaching staff feels he is so dangerous.
9th meeting between these two schools first started in the postseason in 1996. In fact, Jinx beat Moore 3 consecutive years, 96, 97, 98 in the semifinals. Running play over the right side, and this young man, Ozias Adams, a sophomore, does a nice job of staying on his feet and getting down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, really had him stopped at the line of scrimmage, and again, just not tackling him to the ground, getting him wrapped up, putting big hits on people right now, but just not using those arms to wrap them up and then drive them to the ground. So, unfortunately, should have stopped him there at the line of scrimmage, but that's going to be the last play of the first quarter.
All right, so after one period of play, it's Jinx 7 and the Moore Lions nothing. Thanks for joining us from Moore on the Jinx Audio Network and Trojan TV.
Our pets are more than just pets. They're our people, our family. And when they get sick, we want them to be cared for like family. At Woodland West, pet care is personal. We care for your animals the same way we care for our own. As the most comprehensive facility in the Tulsa area for everything from diagnostics to treatment, you can trust that our team of compassionate veterinary experts are delivering the care your animal deserves. Your pet is always there for you. Let us be there to keep them in good health. Woodland West Animal Hospital.
No matter the challenge, rising up has always been the Cherokee way. Adversity and triumph are chiseled into our DNA, which gives us the grit and endurance to go further for our customers, our employees, and our tribe. We march forward together in the pursuit of excellence because we are Cherokee, and together we will rise.
The Trojans, on the other hand, have done a nice job. 27 yards rushing, all by K.D. Jones, and 75 yards passing. So they have 82 total yards to 37 for Moore. He's going to run it on 3rd and 2. They get the corner, and Adams is cut down after a short gain, but good enough to get a first down on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, needed 2, and I think he got about 3.5 right there, and just was able to get outside us, outside contain there. Otherwise, we probably have that stopped short. But again, they're not having much room to run the ball. You said 32 yards, I guess, but about 16 was on with that scramble. So, but they're getting down closer to the red zone, so they're going to have to stiffen this defense up a little bit.
At the Jinx 33-yard line, handoff or fake to Adams, and Miller flushed out by Luke McAnally. Miller throws on the run on the sideline, incomplete. Nice coverage by the Trojans. Ace Gilliam on the coverage of Jonell Alexander, a senior wide receiver.
Jack Wiltshire giving pursuit there from his defensive tackle position. And Rob, I'm not sure that wasn't a little push in the back of Wiltshire when he got around the quarterback by that offensive player. I know you would find it hard to believe I would point something like that out.
No, not you. From your skybox view here, right?
He pushed him in the back. I can see it from here.
2nd down and 10 from the Jinx 33-yard line. Early second quarter action. Adams, he doesn't get out of that tackle. Nice play by McAnally. Or Jack Wiltshire, rather.
Yeah, Wilshire's there on his ankles, and I think Jack Mack is there, to help finish him off. So, see, Wiltshire even felt offended from the last play, so that's why he gave that exorbitant effort right there. But just a nice job of not letting him get up into the line of scrimmage.
Well, these Lions at the skill positions, I mean, they've got so much shiftiness and quickness in all these guys. Their backs, their receivers, their quarterbacks. So anytime you can grab a leg and hold on to an ankle, Wiltshire did a good job there just hanging on for dear life.
Miller on 3rd and 10 is flushed out and throws it wide in front of the intended receiver Adams out of the backfield on the near side. So he's 2 of 8 passing here, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Jack McAnally coming on a blitz right there. He's able to, Miller's able to step to the side and evade that tackle, but he's definitely getting the pressure, and then he's got Wiltshire in his face. He throws it out there in the flat to try to get rid of it, but good pressure by the defense right there.
207 passing for 5 yards here at 4th and 10 at the Jinx 33-yard line for Malachi Miller. Flushed out again, and he's going to get the first down and more to the 20. And the Moore Lions will have a first down at the 17-yard line.
So the adjustment they're going to have to make, Rob, is when they're putting pressure on the quarterback, they've got to take away that scrambling lane, because he's able to just use his speed, and once he's in the second level, linebacker level, he's just really hard to get down.
Well, and there wasn't much of a linebacker level on that play, because once he got through the line and past the line of scrimmage, I think everybody had kind of dropped back into coverage. So once he got through the defensive line, he had a lot of green space there to get to the first down marker.
Big run of 17 yards. They'll move it down to the Jinx 16-yard line. Jinx leads 7-0, but Moore's threatening. And then a nice play in the backfield by the Trojans and Rhett Pangburn.
First time we've called his name tonight, but he had a big game against Deer Creek last week, that whole defensive front. And they're bringing in Kester here for Pangburn to put a little bit more meat and size on this defensive front as they get closer to the goal line.
Yeah, I thought Pangburn was a stud last week in the absence of Cash Jacobson. He was in the quarterback's face for Deer Creek all night long, and like you said, that defensive line had their best game of the season by far.
No gain on the last play. They actually originally marked it a loss of 1, but they move it back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10. Miller looks right, now runs left, gets by Wiltshire to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Moore Lions.
Just quarterback improvisation right now is the only thing the Lions have. And again, Wiltshire does a good job of putting pressure on the rush, and Miller takes off for his life, but once he gets outside of the contain there, he just heads into the house.
Well, and you could see how hard Wiltshire was working to try to hold that edge and kind of make sure that he was in decent position, but once Miller was able to turn on the jets and turn that corner, it was game over, and there was nobody else out there on that left side of the field for the Trojans.
Here's the extra point kick attempt to tie the game by Gray Evans, a sophomore, to our right. On its way and good. So with 9:22 to go before halftime, it is Jinx 7 and the Moore Lions 7 after a nice drive by Moore. Jinx 7, Moore 7, back with the kickoff on the Jinx Audio Network and Trojan TV. Here you go, Rob.
Thanks.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
Schumann and Mason Prince on the Trojan TV streaming side. Don King, Eric Fox, Rob Labor with you. 7-7 game, early second period. Caleb Barnett and Samaj Stanford are deep, but not that deep. About the 20-yard line now. Barnett drifts back to the 15. Here's the kickoff. It's a short kick. This will settle in at the 16-yard line by Stanford. Up to the 30. Down the sideline. Oh, breaks a tackle to the 40. And caught at midfield.
Good to see Stanford with the ball in his hands, making something happen and using that speed, getting to the sidelines, finding a little running room there, and then able to break back inside to get it to midfield. And this is the time to respond, right? It's call and response. So the Lions have marched down the field and gotten on the board, so this offensive unit's got to respond right here.
Well, my bad on the last one because I jinxed them. I had said on the previous 3 series, they had 7 plays and 0 first downs, and then on that series they march it right down the field with a big 3rd down conversion for Miller and a big 4th and 10 conversion for Miller, and then he finishes it off with a touchdown. So an impressive drive from the Lions.
TD run of 16 yards. There's a pass out to the flat in front of the Jinx bench to Barnett, and the Broken Arrow transfer who had a big game against Norman in the district opener, 2 TDs, but we haven't seen a lot of him. Picks up about 6 here.
That's a great toss. I'm sorry, just great tossing. He throws it before Barnett has made his break. So as soon as Barnett turns around, the ball's right there on him. Sorry about that, Rob.
No, you're good.
7 of 9 passing for 81 yards. Here's a running play down the middle, and good enough for a first down for the Trojans.
I was just going to say, Caleb Barnett's been dinged up a little bit, has missed a few games this season, a little bit inconsistent in terms of his role in the offense. But, man, when he's flashed this season, he's flashed really bright.
Sure has. 3 catches already in this game for 50 yards. KD just picks up 8 there. He has 8 carries, 35 yards. And here's a pass in the end zone. Caught, but I think he was out of bounds.
Fantastic catch, really nice ball, and he got it out to out to Caleb Barnett right there. Caleb's going to come off the field. Hope he's not hurt, but he's going to step off there. He had just run past the guy. It's kind of a fade stop, but unfortunately the defender had just pushed Caleb a little bit too close to that sideline, so he makes a great catch. He's just out of bounds when he gets it.
By the way, the scoring update for Miller's 16-yard TD run to tie the game, brought to you by Classic Chevrolet in Owasso, where a handshake still matters. Here's a pass out in the flat inside the 30-yard line.
Again, he hits that to Samaj very, very quickly, and they're just little 5-yard passes, and they're just in front of the corner. The corner's playing way off, but I like the way that Owen's taking what the defense has given him.
Gain of 6 to make it 3rd down and 4. Handoff KD. Nowhere to go. He spins forward. Breaks a tackle and spins down to the 25-yard line. He is amazing. Needing 4. Looked like he was caught at the line of scrimmage. A couple of moves, and he's close to the first down. It'll be 4th and a foot.
Very exciting 4-yard run right there.
Yeah, for most mere mortals, that's no gain or maybe a yard at the very most, but they're going to go for it here on 4th and short. They marked him just shy of the 25-yard line.
And I think that might have been a direct snap to KD, and he's got the first down. He breaks it. And down at the 17-yard line. Saving a touchdown was Ozias Adams.
Yeah, they just did a quick snap there to Owen, and then Owen handed it off to KD, and KD, once he gets that initial first down, he keeps his legs churning for more.
Gain of 9. Another running play, this time nothing. No gain on the play.
I think they're going to give him maybe 2.5.
Are they? Okay, beg your pardon. Yeah. Yeah, they do give him 3 inside the 15. Don't know what I was watching. 2nd and 7 at the Moore 14-yard line. Tied at 7. 7.5 minutes to go first half. Owen back to pass. Fires a fastball at the 10-yard line. Caught and tackled immediately. Short of the first down, it'll bring up 3rd and 2. Catch made by Cato, I believe.
Yeah, Cato's that inside receiver, and he just sits down there in front of that safety, right around linebacker depth, and man, I thought he got a little bit farther on that. I think we're having a hard time seeing from our angle here in the booth there, Don, of where they are on that side of the field.
Trying to bail me out, aren't you? I appreciate that.
Well, I thought he had about a 5-yard catch right there, and they got him maybe 1.5 yards.
It's 3rd and 3 from the Moore 10-yard line to our left. McAnally in motion. They throw to McAnally to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
Jack McAnally, we've known what a defensive presence he is, Rob, but he has shown himself to be such an effective H-back. Tight end, sure-handed, great blocker, does a great job with the bootleg fake right there. He's wide open, makes the catch, gets to the end zone.
Well, I love the play call, and I love the execution. When you're in 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable, it just opens up so many options for Jay Wilkinson, and everybody in a blue jersey is focused on KD Jones, and you think he's going to get the handoff, and when they fake it that direction, the defense looks that way. You roll McAnally the other direction. I love the misdirection. Like I said, love the play call. Perfect time to dial that one up, and they nailed it.
Noah Carter adds the extra point just inside the right upright to our left, and with 6:46 to go before halftime, it is Jinx back on top, 14-7 over Moore on the Jinx Audio Network and Trojan TV.
No matter the challenge, rising up has always been the Cherokee way. Adversity and triumph are chiseled into our DNA, which gives us the grit and endurance to go further. For our customers, our employees, and our tribe, we march forward together in the pursuit of excellence, because we are Cherokee, and together we will rise.
taken by Moore and downed immediately just outside their 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 11-yard line as the Trojans have regained the lead 14-7 thanks to a 9-play, 49-yard drive after Samaj Stanford had a 35-yard kickoff return to start things. Trojans got 3 first downs in that drive and converted a 4th and 1, and then converted a 3rd and 3 at the Moore 10 on a 10-yard TD pass from Owen Jones to Jack McAnally. And for Jack Mack, that is his second touchdown catch of the year. He had one at Bixby to start that game at 7-0. And for Owen Jones, his 9th TD pass of the season. 1st and 10 Moore at the 11-yard line, midway second quarter. Malachi Miller drops back, and they'll have a penalty here before they can get this play going.
I think they're saying we were lined up in the neutral zone.
Wow.
Rob, I'm going to admit that I can't tell from here whether that's true or not, so I'll take their word for it. But, we talked about the offensive drive last time, how we really wanted to see him respond after Moore went down and scored. Pretty good response.
Great response. Like Don said, converting a couple of 3rd downs and a 4th down. And again, putting yourself in manageable situations, and then the complementary play with the special teams return.
Moore 4-3 on the season, ranked 9th by the Tulsa World in 6A Division I. Running play, slashing off left guard, and getting from the 16 up to about the 18, a gain of only 2.
And we're at the end of the press box here, so we can't see directly down the line of scrimmage for that previous play to know whether or not we were exactly lined up in the neutral zone. The geometry is not in our favor from this standpoint yet.
I think that might have been Moon again on the carry for 2 yards, 2nd down and 3 from the 18-yard line for the Moore Lions. They haven't thrown, or at least Maverick Gardner hadn't caught a pass yet. He split right, guarded by DJ Carter. Here is a busted play, picked up by the receiver in the backfield and cut down in the backfield by Samaj Stanford.
That was some serious funk from the beginning. They bring the inside receiver on a speed motion. Almost looks like it's going to be like one of those H speed reverses. But the ball gets away from Miller. It starts bouncing around in some dangerous areas. They're able to pick it up. But once again, Samaj is the guy on the one-on-one tackle, right?
Well, and that's what stands out is just the decisiveness, not only the speed and the explosion to get to the ball, but just the angle that he takes is perfect to get the ball carrier to the ground immediately.
4-man front with Jack McAnally as the 4th. Zach Fisher's in at linebacker, and the Moore Lions are going to call a timeout here with 5:14 remaining here before halftime. 3rd and 8 they face at their own 13-yard line, trailing the Trojans 14-7. Trojan football brought to you by Arvest Bank, perfect bank for your changing world. And, of course, 20 Metro locations around the Metro area. Go to arvest.com. Let's find out who your halftime guests are, and I'll start with you, Dr. Fox.
Well, I got to talk to a coach of a nationally ranked team at Jinx. Rob, I don't know if you knew this or not. I did not know this until our conversation. Rankings just came out in USA Today on the top 25 esports teams in the nation. Jinx High School broke the top 25 in only 3rd year of existence, and I got to talk to the director, the head coach of that program, Corey Hubble, also a social studies teacher, and it was a great conversation. Did you know that we were right?
I did not know that. Thank you for breaking that news. That's unbelievably impressive. Like, that's unreal in the 3rd year to be in the top 25 in the country.
And really not even the full 3 years. It's really kind of like 2.5 years, because they started initially as just a club and were competing against other schools that had completely staffed teams and uniforms and playing labs and stuff. And so, good conversation with Corey at halftime.
Well, they get the expectations of being a Jinx team, right? If you're a Jinx team, you got to stack championships, and that's what they've done in a short period of time.
3rd and 8 from the 13-yard line for the Moore Lions, going left to right, far hash mark. Miller, double pumps, still looking inside the 5-yard line. Comes right, now goes left, then fires and overthrows his receiver up at the 25-yard line.
So what was a little different there is they had Brody Henderson kind of sitting back. He had dropped in coverage, but he's eyeballing the quarterback the whole time, so that when Miller tried to get away from Wiltshire, who's applying the rush on the Moore sidelines, he's starting to run towards the Jinx sidelines. Brody Henderson comes up from his kind of flat coverage position to put pressure, make Miller throw the ball, and and he just throws it high and hard.
Much better job of contain there. Really nowhere for Miller to go, nowhere to step up, and then he tried to round the corner, like you said, and there were white jerseys right in his face, and clearly he's not nearly as comfortable throwing the ball on the run as he is just being on the run.
Here's Stanford catching the punt and then bobbles it at the 50, has to go back inside the 45 to pick it up, gets back to the 50 and gets tackled there. A nice kick of 37 yards by the quarterback, Malachi Miller.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that, as a special teams coach, you don't want to see your pass returner, your punt returner try to catch the ball overhead, right? You want him to let it drop into that basket, and so but you see great players do it all the time too. So you don't want to take away the athleticism, and Samaj kind of tried to catch it over his head, and it went through his hands, but fortunately it took a good bounce right back into his breadbasket, and he took it upfield, got away from a defender, and got us midfield.
Well, once that ball goes off your hands and hits the turf, you can easily just go straight panic mode, and he did not do that. Made a nice recovery.
Exactly. Owen Jones is 10 of 12. Does he throw deep here, or do they go with KD? No, they hand off KD, slashes over the right side, gets a couple of yards, maybe 3 to the 47-yard line. One of the things that this offense has been doing, as you talked earlier, Owen Jones getting in rhythm, throwing these short passes. They really haven't thrown the ball downfield vertically a lot here in the last 3 or 4 games. Haven't needed to. But.
No, they've used, and again, I think it goes back to that offensive philosophy, Rob, that you take what the defense gives you. When the defense is backed off in coverage, you hit the stuff underneath, right? And Owen's been doing the short and mid stuff pretty effectively, but we were able to hit a bomb over to Barnett early in the game, obviously.
Look at KD weave his way, break a tackle to 35-30, angles away from a tackler, but gets caught from behind at the 16-yard line. That'll be good for 31 yards.
We sound like broken records, right? We say it week after week. Initial contact is not going to be enough contact to get this guy to the ground. It's just not. Well, it's never going to do the job against KD Jones.
He is drugged from behind, but I think that guy actually had contact with him about 8 yards, and KD had just drugged him that far, and boom, look at that.
Touchdown Trojans as KD over the left guard gets bumped, keeps his balance, and then bounces off that and has a clear path to the end zone.
It's hard to...
It's human pinball. It's human pinball. He just bounced off the back of his line and then looked to his right. There's a big opening right there. Hit that crease and pay dirt. Athletic,
speedy, agile, great balance, great vision, hard to bring down. Pound for pound, one of the strongest guys on the team. Great job, KD.
16-yard run. Here's Noah Carter's extra point, and the Trojans have a Matt McCoy insurance. Score and lead 21-7 after that 50-yard drive, and they do it in 3 plays. And a very impressive drive for the Trojans, and KD Jones with his second touchdown of the night, and he's now 14 carries for 100 yards in the game.
Well, what I was thinking, Rob, was the fact that defense has a great stop. We get the ball at midfield. We have a nice first down run, and looking at the clock, there's about 4 minutes. You know that we're going to get the ball to open up the second half, and so thinking, hey, this would be nice to kind of run this drive down a little bit and get on the board, and then kind of head to halftime. But there's still a lot of game left with 3:54 and a half.
There is, but you got to like the fact that you've had 2 short fields in a row, and that you've taken full advantage of those short fields and the good field position, and you've made it look relatively easy. You're able to open up the playbook, but you're also able to run the ball effectively. It's been a nice balance of running and passing. So great stuff from the Trojan offense since that first drive where they had a golden opportunity to score and couldn't do it. But since then they've been really impressive and really consistent.
Yeah, 50 and 49-yard drives for the Trojans to now lead 21-7. Here's Noah Carter's kick to our left. This one will hit at the 9-yard line and go out of bounds again. And so Moore will get good field position with 3:54 remaining here before halftime. Rob's halftime interview tonight is with Mark Moore, one of my favorites. He's an 8th grade coach here in the Jinx system, former All-American out of Nacogdoches, Texas for Oklahoma State during the Thurman Thomas, Barry Sanders days, and Mark is helping at the 8th grade level. His wife Holly's a special ed teacher here in the Jinx school system. And Mark is very much involved in the Cowboys in the Community, which Brody Henderson's dad, Scott, is a part of. So we'll get more on that at halftime. Trojans leading 21-7. They have the only turnover of the game. That came on the first play of the game on an interception by Clark Carricker, his first varsity interception. Here's the quarterback, Miller, getting to the outside, but a nice job of McAnally to slow him down, and then he gets finished by Sam Stone.
Yeah, just RPO there. He's pulling the ball from the running back, and he's taking off over the right side there. He evades the first defender, but there's just a lot of white shirts making it hard for him to get up full speed.
Back is Miller on 2nd and 6. He throws out in the flat, caught, but just short of the first down. He's cut down before he gets the line to gain. And a nice play by the Trojans. Is that Cooper Shockley?
Cooper Shockley does a nice job. It looks like he's going to get the first down because he catches the ball in the flat and has a lot of territory. But Shockley, who you had a nice pregame interview with, just shows his speed and then his just ability to make sure he makes that tackle out in space on that island. That's what you got to have those corners do, is to be very sure tacklers out on the edge when they don't have any support around them.
Gain of 5 to make it 3rd down and 1 at the 44-yard line. Miller hands off, not much, but enough for a first down. Needed 1 and got 2. Up at the 46-yard line. Not sure who the running back was, but he paid the price, and he's not getting up. Now he does. I believe that's Jaden Williams.
He's listed as number 1, but I don't see a 1 on the roster. Now
No.
he has gone down.
On the depth chart, on the back page, lists him at number 1 as one of the special teams guys, but then he's listed on the roster as number 4.
Keeping us guessing.
He is. This is, as I mentioned, the 9th meeting, as the timeout's called, the 9th meeting between the two schools. They started meeting each other in the semifinals in 96, 97, 98. Met again, not until 2017 in the quarterfinals, 2019 in the semifinals, 2020 in the opening round at Jinx of the playoffs. And then we came here for the very first time in a regular season game against Moore when they finally got into our district. And we had to fight for our lives to escape 49-41, and then last year at Jinx beat the Lions 31-6. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line for the Lions. Down to the Trojans, 21-7. 2:18 to go, first half. Running play, going left across midfield, and Elijah Moon is cut down after a gain of 5. You remember those great semifinal games, don't you? 96, 97, 98? You were part of that?
What was really special about that is the Lions that we were playing against. A lot of those guys I had coached when they were junior high players here in Moore, or they had wrestled for me on the junior high team here at Highland East. And of course, Coach Knowles, great coach of that program then. And I'd had a chance to work alongside him as a junior high coach. So really good times.
Here is a fade pattern and almost caught inside the 5-yard line. Ace Gilliam knocks it out of the grasp, but John L. Alexander. That was a well-thrown ball.
Yeah, it's going to... I didn't see the pass. I didn't see the penalty flag go down. I was pretty certain that Ace was going to get called for pass interference, and he does get the call. But Ace does a pretty good job on coverage right there. He just didn't get his head around. It makes contact with the receiver when the ball is floating up in the air. So I was anticipating a pass interference call. I just hadn't seen the penalty flag come down, and it finally did.
So that'll be moving it to the Jinx 33-yard line, where it gives the Lions their 5th first down of the first half. Could have been worse. He could have hung on to the ball, and they would have had 1st and goal at the 3, but Gilliam reached in with the wide receiver backing toward the goal line. Running play and cut down is Elijah Moon, and again it's Samaj Stanford, Coach Fox, with another open field tackle on the edge.
He has missed one tackle, I have to say, but I mean, some of these other tackles have just been amazing. And for him to come up from his safety position and have tackles at the line of scrimmage or tackles for a loss, you can see why he has so many college coaches very interested in his future.
Well, Katie's certainly being recruited by everybody in the country, but some feel, and remember, Stanford is just a sophomore, might be the most recruited player in Jinx history. Here's a throw and a fade down the other side at the goal line, incomplete to make it 3rd down and 10.
Really good coverage right there by Dillard from his safety position. Hard for the quarterback to get that ball in there in the limited amount of space. Dillard was playing him really tight, so nice job. But again, you see how far Miller can throw that ball. That was ball was hanging up in there in the air, headed towards that opposite side of the goal line there.
Other scores going on in 6A Division 1. We'll run across them here for you and certainly give you some more as we move along at halftime. Owasso's having their hands full. Here's a pass, and a slant, incomplete, and the receiver just took a shot from Zachary Fisher. Wow, that was a blast down at about the 20-yard line.
He's running an inside slant. Zach Fisher's doing a great job from his linebacker position headed out there. It actually deflects off of Zach. I think Zach is trying to break towards the receiver to make up that ground. If Zach has his head where he can see the ball, might have a chance to pick it, but he just puts a shot, deflects the pass, and then puts a shot on that receiver, and his receiver's a little bit reluctant to get up.
4th and 10 at the Jinx 33-yard line. Jinx up 21-7. Moore trying to cut it to 7. Here's a pass off the fingertips at the 24-yard line, right at the 1st down marker. Stanford on the coverage, and John L. Alexander couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, I think that one was actually Shockley.
Shockley,
yeah.
Thank you.
And I tell you, these receivers have had balls in their hands and just deflected off of them or haven't finished the catch. And I think it's because the pressure that these defensive backs and the hits that they've been putting on them when they've gotten the ball in their hand.
I would agree. Trojan football brought to you by Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma, the Region Sports Authority with 22 doctors covering 20 schools on Friday evenings, including the Trojans. McAnally in motion. Handoff KD. McAnally blocking for him. KD busts off one tackle, but a nice shoestring tackle there. KD picks up 7 yards to the 40.
We've got all 3 timeouts, so it'll be interesting to see what we do here with 39 seconds, running the ball on 1st down. Clock getting down to about 30 seconds.
KD again. When you have him as a threat, he can go the distance. He crosses the 45, moves the sticks up to the 47, another gain of 7. 10th first down of the half for the Trojans. And KD right now 16 carries for 114 yards. Here's a pass play through the fingertips of the intended receiver, Nate Domek, who was covered just past midfield.
Yeah, it's a little bit high. Domek is trying to go up and get it and make sure he lands in bounds, and it does stop the clock with 21 seconds left. You probably need, what do you think, 35 yards or so for a chance for a field goal?
That would be my guess.
You do have all 3 of your timeouts, so you'd want to save one if you get down there enough time to get your field goal unit on.
Domek split left. Cato in the slot right, far side. I think that's Barnett, split deep right. They throw to post to Barnett, and he makes a fingertip diving catch inside the 10-yard line. That was All-State written all over it.
Fantastic job of Caleb just using his speed to run that thing down. You think it's just a little bit too far past him, and they're going to use a timeout with 13 seconds here with the ball on the 10-yard line. You got 2 timeouts now. You got the ball on the 10-yard line. You got 13 seconds. You do have some options. I mean, you know that KD can score from here, but if you get stopped short, you don't want to waste too much time. So you think you're going to probably take a shot here in the end zone at least once.
I can't believe the Trojan TV crew behind us didn't break out in a big scream after that. Because Scott Van Dyke, our wingman, he would have been jumping up and down and hollering at us. He just got back from a cruise to Germany, so I know he's watching on Trojan TV tonight. That was a 43-yard connection on the post from Owen Jones to Caleb Barnett. 11 of 13 passing for Owen Jones right now for 144 yards. Barnett has 4 catches for 93. First and goal at the 10. for the Trojans, up 21-7, 13 seconds left. Owasso in the first quarter leading Edmond Santa Fe 12-7. Domek split left. Trojans are going to move. I think that was Barnett outside that jumped the count. And he'll get replaced here, and see how Stanford's coming in.
Yeah, he was trying to get, he's got press coverage. He was trying to get past that corner. He anticipated the snap count, and so that'll back him up 5 yards.
Keith Riggs in his 7th season, overall record is 64-20. Owen Jones back, throws in the end zone, wide open, touchdown Trojans. What a throw, and wide open was Nate Domek for his 2nd TD of the season. He had a touchdown in the first game, or that's his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. I beg your pardon.
Don, I cannot wait to watch the Trojan TV broadcast to see how Nate Domek got so wide open, because I was looking at Samaj Stanford. He was isolated one-on-one at the top of the formation, and Domek was down here in a trips formation, a bunch formation, and he just gets through with no more Lions seeing him at all. Wide open. Owen steps up, fires a bullet. Trojans take a touchdown on the board right here before half.
How about the first half for Owen Jones? 12 of 14 passing for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. Impressive.
I guess that shoulder's feeling okay
I think so.
Mike Cadamson and his athletic training staff did the Mr. Miyagi treatment on him this week, got him ready to go.
Speaking of athletics, next door, the Douglas Frederick Sports Complex, the Jinx Trojan volleyball team won the opening round quarterfinal match yesterday in thrilling fashion, but fell short today.
Well, they battled. They dropped 2 close sets to start with today, and then they had to win 3 sets in a row, and they won the 4th set. They won the 3rd set, won the 4th set. They forced it into the 5th set and came up just a little bit short. But shout out to Jinx Volleyball and their coaching staff, and their seniors graduated some really great competitors last year in the senior class, but this senior class stepped up and really did a good job to get them to the state semifinals, and just proud of that team and that staff, and that program has done a great job this year.
Stephanie Kane in her first year as the head coach after being an assistant for Tana Smith. Here's the kickoff by Noah Carter. This one will sail back to the 1-yard line and returnable. Up to the 10. Bounces outside, flag down, and out of bounds goes the Moore Lion. I think that's Gardner who touches the ball for the first time tonight. One of their more electrifying players, but some of it will be brought back with 4 seconds left here in the half. 28-7 now, Trojans.
We've got some great listeners letting us know. Steve Mortensen,
yes,
his son Will played, and of course he had daughters that went to Jinx as well, and one of the daughters, Jordan Johnson, ended up playing basketball at Oklahoma State University, and she's one of our history teachers and stuff now. But Steve is listening in from Kansas and sending his greetings, and Dr. Stacy Butterfield is chiming in and sending her greetings, and so glad to have her on the broadcast and listening in along with so many others that are following Trojan TV tonight.
Certainly appreciate all of that support. And, of course, Trojan TV is run by the students, 2nd year. Here's a running play up to the 20, out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. But that will take care of the first half. So a 12-yard run ends the Moore Lions here in the first half, and the Trojans lead it 28-7. We'll hear from Coach Riggs as we move along here at halftime. Stay tuned. We'll be back to recap the first half and then go into our halftime interviews. This is Trojan Football on the Jinx Audio Network and Trojan TV.
On this field of stars and stripes, champions are born. Here, the Friday night lights offer a different view, where the lines of protection extend from sea to shining sea, and the bravery to tackle challenges extends on and off the field of battle. At Cherokee Federal, we stand with our warfighters. We work 24/7 to build strategic solutions, solve complex challenges, and serve our military and veteran community with compassion and heart. For every star, every stripe, we stand committed to supporting America's greatest team.
When you've got to spend some time away, there's no better place for your best friend to stay than Woodland West Pet Resort. With 17,000 square feet of fun, you can both take a no-guilt vacation. Relax, both of you. Pick up a new skill. Chow down on some well-deserved vacation food. Make new friends. Have a spa day. And finally, come home to your best friend. Woodland West Pet Resort. Sit, stay, and play. Located next to Woodland West Animal Hospital off Highway 75 in the Jenks exit.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
No matter the challenge, rising up has always been the Cherokee way. Adversity and triumph are chiseled into our DNA, which gives us the grit and endurance to go further. For our customers, our employees, and our tribe, we march forward together in the pursuit of excellence. Because we are Cherokee, and together we will rise.
Our pets are more than just pets. They're our people, our family. And when they get sick, we want them to be cared for like family. At Woodland West, pet care is personal. We care for your animals the same way we care for our own. As the most comprehensive facility in the Tulsa area for everything from diagnostics to treatment, you can trust that our team of compassionate veterinary experts are delivering the care your animal deserves. Your pet is always there for you. Let us be there to keep them in good health. Woodland West Animal Hospital. When you've got to spend some time away, there's no better place for your best friend to stay than Woodland West Pet Resort. With 17,000 square feet of fun, you can both take a no-guilt vacation. Relax, both of you. Pick up a new skill. Chow down on some well-deserved vacation food. Make new friends. Have a spa day. And finally, come home to your best friend. Woodland West Pet Resort. Sit, stay, and play. Located next to Woodland West Animal Hospital off Highway 75 in the Jenks exit.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
Our pets are more than just pets. They're our people, our family. And when they get sick, we want them to be cared for like family. At Woodland West, pet care is personal. We care for your animals the same way we care for our own. As the most comprehensive facility in the Tulsa area for everything from diagnostics to treatment, you can trust that our team of compassionate veterinary experts are delivering the care your animal deserves. Your pet is always there for you. Let us be there to keep them in good health. Woodland West Animal Hospital.
No matter the challenge, rising up has always been the Cherokee way. Adversity and triumph are chiseled into our DNA, which gives us the grit and endurance to go further. For our customers, our employees, and our tribe, we march forward together in the pursuit of excellence. Because we are Cherokee, and together we will rise. On this field of stars and stripes, champions are born. Here, the Friday night lights offer a different view, where the lines of protection extend from sea to shining sea, and the bravery to tackle challenges extends on and off the field of battle. At Cherokee Federal, we stand with our warfighters. We work 24/7 to build strategic solutions, solve complex challenges, and serve our military and veteran community with compassion and heart. For every star, every stripe, we stand committed to supporting America's greatest team.
159 yards, and so that totals up to a nice total of 276 yards total offense. Moore 3 of 12 passing, 1 interception for 10 yards, and a total yardage of 105. Time for the individual stats, brought to you by Innovative Ear Pros and Plumbing Now. And you can call them at 918-299-1955. Again, Owen Jones 12 of 14 passing, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns. Caleb Barnett 4 catches for 93 yards. KD Jones 16 carries for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's the way it looks here in the first half. We get set for the second half with the Trojans leading again 28-7. And Coach Fox is with us, and he has another special guest, a good friend of his, a good friend of all of ours.
It's bonus. Don, there's 2 guys that I associate with the very best in high school football radio, and it's Don King, the voice of the Trojans, and my good buddy J.D. Northcutt from More America right here came by to see us. J.D., so glad you came up here, man. You did the More Lions radio for so long. You back when I was a More Lions, not playing obviously, but when I was here helping coach and stuff like that, and it was always great to see you when we would run into each other and stuff. So thanks for coming up and joining us, man.
Well, I tell you what, I really appreciate you taking the time, but Don will relate to this, man. You just hang around long enough and you look up and you go, Dad gum, I've been here for 3 decades. And back then, Don and I, we had a little bit more hair, and it was a little bit darker color, but I tell you what, Don, all you guys that are part of this Jinx Trojan program, and me being part of the Moreline program, just being part of Oklahoma high school football and being able to work with these coaches and especially these young men that strap the gear on each and every Friday night. It's just an absolute honor to just be a part of it, and that have been a part of it, and then you get to come up and talk to you guys a little bit.
Well, and you and Don both are just the epitome of just what's great about high school sports, because you guys, bringing these interviews with players, bringing these spotlights with coaches, talking and celebrating kids and all that stuff, traveling all over the state, hauling your gear, hauling it up by yourself, being the last ones. You got maintenance guys at every stadium around trying to turn the lights out on you, and you're trying to get all packed up and haul your gear to the car, and Don does a great job with it, and he has Miss Terry to help him out, and you guys have done it for so long. High school athletics would not be the same without some of the stuff that you and Don have done for year after year after year.
It's a lot of fun. Just a quick story. We're getting ready here for the kickoff. Don, I might shove Don out of the way and do the play-by-play on this. But
absolutely, go ahead.
But one time I had a guy that he said, "Hey, you know us. We had the 1-hour post-game show," and he said, "Well, I don't get paid to stay." And I reached in my wallet and gave him a 20, and I said, "You're staying now." So no, it's awesome, man. I tell you what, it's after 33 years, I took this year off, and I will be back on the air somewhere. Here we go, Don. Take it over.
All right. Well, here's the kickoff taken by the Trojans at the 26-yard line. It's Stanford again, who already has a big kickoff return and bust it to the 50 down the sideline, and he'll go all the way, but there'll be a flag down and brought back, unfortunately, for Samaj Stanford.
Samaj took it on the 30, close to our sidelines. He had a wall set up on the Lions sidelines here on the press box side. He's about to get to the edge there, and unfortunately had a penalty flag that, as he was trying to get around the edge, had a little unfair advantage by the Trojans there, and so that's going to come on back and negate that nice run there. But I don't know if you and Don could actually compute the number of miles you put on your vehicles going to high school stadiums, or just the number of stadiums that you've been in and press boxes you've been in on a Friday night.
I lost count of my buddy Dale Reeves tried to add it up one time, and man, and not only just what you do for, like Don does here for Jinx, and what I've done for what I did for Moore over the years, but the other state championships. Don, when you and I do those state basketball games after after about 8 of them, you lose count, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and sometimes it's 6 or 8 in one day.
I did. I think when they were at the Mabee Center one year, I did 12 games. I think it was in one day, and I got pneumonia like 3 days later.
Absolutely.
I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. K.D. Jones shifts to the right hip of Owen Jones, gets the handoff. This time he's get hit by number 8. That's Hayden Stahl, one of Moore's better players, and they'll give K.D. a generous spot at 2 yards. But Hayden Stahl's a heck of a player.
Yeah, Hayden, he's not only a great football player, a great kid, and just one of those great guys to have around the locker room. I know Coach Bryant and his defensive and offensive staffs both love having a young man like that around. Just a hard-nosed football player, and you guys have seen a lot over your careers calling these Jinx Trojan games.
2nd down and 8 coming, and now we'll have a penalty against the Trojans for procedure, so that'll make it 2nd and 13 from the 22. You guys brought up a guy that I'm very familiar with. When I started 50 years ago doing high school play-by-play, Tommy Knowles was the defensive coordinator at Ponca City. Tommy later became here to Moore and had those great teams of the 90s that you faced Jinx in the semis, 96, 97, 98. And
yeah, you guys stole my championship rings.
2nd and 13 from the 22-yard line. And Owen Jones has had a heck of a first half, finds and fires that one's way off the mark, incomplete. But Moore, over the years, JD, has had some good runs, but not as consistent as you would like. How much did Westmore and Southmore opening up hurt the Lion program?
Well, there at one time when both Moore and Westmore, we got a line down on the field. We'll keep an eye on that. But when it was a two school town, both teams were competitive. But when they opened up Southmore, kind of the open transfer and things of that nature, trying to build that school. And of course, you guys faced Southmore early in Southmore's tenure as a high school in the semifinals up at PC Stadium. I remember that game, but you guys ended up winning that one. But so it's tough. I mean, it's a different mentality. You guys be around it as much as I've been around it, the East versus West, and it's just you got whatever philosophy you think is going to be fit best for your community. That's what you got to go with, and so it is hard. I mean, it just affects your depth, especially in the interior.
Well, I'll say this: you can tell this community is invested in their athletic programs as well as their academic programs and stuff. But some big strides that people may not be aware of. We're playing here at Lion Stadium, which I love calling it Lion Stadium. It bothered me when I called it Moore Stadium, since all that Westmore and that Southmore emblem in the end zone a little bit. But kudos to them. Both of those schools got their own stadium, right? Both of them have indoor practice facilities. The Moore indoor practice facility is behind us. It's going to open up pretty soon. So 3 high schools, each with their own stadium now and each with their indoor practice facility. You can just tell that this community is invested in success of their teams and their programs. And of course, you guys hosting the state volleyball championship just right next door to us at the Douglas H. Frederick Sports Complex that we spent some time in growing up.
No doubt. And of course, that place was built several years ago, and it's kind of built before its time. It's still a premier facility.
Here's a pass over the middle and a big play by Domek at the 40 to the 50 and into Moore territory at the Moore 44-yard line. That's going to be good for about 40 yards, and the Trojans will move the chains off a 3rd and 13.
Owen does a really nice job. I'm sorry, I just say Owen does a nice job. They're stepping up in the pocket. They're going to hurry up here with a big play to get back to first down, but steps up and finds Domek over the middle.
And KD gets a hole over the right side, drives inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line.
I'm going to let you guys call a football game here, but we've talked a lot about Moore. I want to talk a little bit about Jinx. Jenks Trojan, the community, the athletic department, the administration, going back to the late, great Alan Trimble, and the current head coach, Coach Riggs, Coach Gaylor, everybody. You guys have always been very good to me.
Owen Jones back, throwing the fade. Domek is open at the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
Great job right there. Owen getting great protection. Rob talked about that being a key for him to feel comfortable, and I guess there's a penalty flag. I did not see that. Holding call is going to bring this back, but maybe that's why Owen had a little bit extra time there, Rob.
I was going to say, I feel like JD fits right in here because, you've heard the phrase, JD, bare minimum. In this booth, it's hair minimum. So you fit right in with these guys, right? You're not allowed to have too much to broadcast for the Trojans.
There you go, man. I tell you what, but you guys have always been great to me, and we've got to call some Trojan state tournament basketball and things of that nature over the years, but first-class operation what you guys have up there in Jinx, America.
Well, we need you back at the microphone next year for more or whatever games you're doing.
I'll find a spot.
I know you will.
I'll find a spot. I'm enjoying my little new grandbaby and just taking a break.
Good. Second down and 13, and this is going to be well overthrown down at the 25-yard line for Domek again. Early third quarter, and Trojans leading 28-7. JD Northcutt.
Appreciate you guys.
For
Appreciate
more
you
with
guys.
us. Thank you, JD.
Hey, Don,
we'll see
thank
you
you,
in the
my
basketball
brother. Appreciate it.
tournament.
Absolutely. You guys take care, and good luck the rest of the way, and safe trip up the old turnpike tonight.
Thank you, sir.
We'll talk soon. Thanks, man.
Thanks, JD.
So this will bring up a third down and a long third down and 13 at the Moore 48-yard line. Jones has time. Boy, Owens had some protection. Throws for Samaj, and he can't quite catch it at the 3-yard line, saying he was held and no call.
I like the fact that they're taking these shots downfield. The protection's been good. Owen Jones has been able to step up and had that big first down completion to Domek, and then, just tough with the penalties. Did a good job of limiting some of those in the first half, but here to start the second half, here to start the third quarter, you basically had 2 touchdowns called back because of penalties, one on the kickoff return and one on the long bomb to Domek.
Yeah, and that's been the only thing that's really stopped this offense. Earlier in the first half, it was a offsides penalty, illegal procedure penalty that moved them back and killed a drive, and it's going to be a nice punt that's going to roll down inside the 5-yard line. But the things that have stopped scoring drives for the Trojans more than the Moorline defense has really been some costly penalties that they just haven't overcome.
And they've done a good job tonight of taking advantage of some of this positive field position that they've earned for themselves. So kind of a line drive kick off the foot of Caleb Dillard, nothing really special to speak of, but on this turf, you get that ball rolling in the right direction and good things can happen. So another chance here for the Trojan defense to kind of bow up, get a stop here early in this second half and get the ball back in good position.
9:40 to go third quarter, and they'll start 95 yards away from their goal line. We'll run down some scores for you. Owasso being upset right now by Edmond Santa Fe, 14-12. Hope you liked, if you're watching on Trojan TV, the guy scrolling some scores at halftime. That was fun to see on Trojan TV. Appreciate all their hard work from Mason Prince or Wyatt Shubin and the others providing the coverage here from Moore Lions Stadium. Boy, Moore has had some good players. This is probably before your time, but I remember a guy here, Gary Darnell, that played in the 60s that later became one of the better defensive coordinators in college football.
Yeah, well, of course, I knew he was from Moore, but way before my time or my older brother's time here. But, some great football coaches.
Nice play by Hager, but he's going to get a penalty against him on a pass interference call.
Okay, Rob, you're going to hear me say it. I'm not saying it wasn't pass interference. Perhaps it was, but he doesn't ever throw the flag until the play has been whistled dead. So again, I'm saying if the definition of pass interference is if you're interfering with him, you got hands on him when the ball goes in the air.
So you're not necessarily questioning the flag itself, you're questioning the timing of the flag?
I guess you could say that.
Okay.
Depends if my friend Clay Martin's listening tonight or not.
Well, I'm just waiting for the summer when the Eric Fox, the officiating clinic is in full swing at Allen Trimble Stadium.
I get in trouble from my friend Clay Martin every now and then.
7th first down of the night for the Moore Lions. They run up the middle, and there's just not much room there from the 24. The market at the 25 for a gain of 1.
Well, I thought it was interesting on that previous play, that the pass play that was incomplete, but they got the pass interference call. Brody Henderson did a nice job as the spy on Miller there, and there was a lane for Miller to step up and go through the middle of the line. Brody Henderson filled that gap immediately, then bounced outside, really shadowed him nicely. So we'll see if that's maybe a trend for this second half, that they're going to try a little bit more often to have a spy on the quarterback.
2nd and 9 from the 25-yard line for Malachi Miller. He's throwing deep, airing it out. Got a man there, knocked away. Nice play by DJ Carter covering John L. Alexander.
So that's kind of textbook coverage right there. I know Coach McGraw's going to be happy with that. DJ has his inside hand on the hip of the receiver. He's looking for the receiver's eyes to go back for the ball. When he sees that guy's eyes go back for the ball, he takes his hand that's away from the body of the receiver, puts it up, deflects that pass. That's pretty much textbook coverage right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you do it right there. Baseball World Series Game 1. Jared's seeing a good one tonight. Dodgers 1, Yankees nothing. Yankees batting in the top of the 6th inning. Let's see. Rutgers at USC later tonight. Boston College leading Louisville in college football 20-10 in the 3rd quarter. Boise State's ranked 17th. They're playing later tonight at UNLV. Here's a running play. It'll be short of the first down again. This time by Moon, I think it is. Yeah, and he comes out. They haven't run, or that was Adams, rather, number 20. Ozias Adams, their best running back. He got 5 yards to make it 4th down and about 4. So they're going to try and get him to jump, right?
Yeah, look for a freeze count here to try to get him to jump, and then quarterback's going to drop back in a punt formation.
And now Samaj will drop back. There's the kick. Fair catch called for and taken at the 33-yard line. Midway through this 3rd quarter, the Trojans leading 28-7.
You mentioned the game later tonight, Don, right? USC and Rutgers. Yeah. How's that Big Ten thing working out for those Trojans?
Not too well right now.
I'm just still getting used to these cross-country flights, right?
Oh.
We're playing 3 time zones away in a single conference. It's just wild. The ACC's no different. You got Cal in the ACC playing Miami. It's just,
you got Big 12 games kicking off at 9:30, 10 o'clock. I think there's one this weekend at 10 o'clock. It's nuts.
It's a whole new world.
It is.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Trojans at the 35-yard line.
Could we age ourselves even more here? Could we sound possibly any older and more curmudgeon-y?
Get off my lawn.
Jake Flowers in the game at fullback, leading the way for KD. Bounces outside. Gets by a man to the 40. To the 50. Out of bounds. Slung down at midfield.
Tremendous run right there. He's pressing up into the line of scrimmage on the zone play. Inside zone. Bounces it outside. Gets away from a tackler. Uses his speed. Has open field speed that he gets to the edge and the first down marker plus some. Just incredible running consistently by KD Jones.
He is having quite a game. 136 yards rushing by my count.
That 1,000-yard mark.
Yes, easily.
3 more for him on that carry. And, I mean, you just see plenty of examples already tonight in the first 2.5 quarters of the kind of runs that have college coaches salivating over this kid. And it's not necessarily just home run after home run, but it's that elusive quality that Coach Fox has mentioned. It's the balance and the vision.
And the tough running.
20 carries on the night. Here's a pass to the first down marker for Jalen Cato. I'll make it 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, just over his head. He's running a route into the boundary right there, and just a little bit tall for him. You know, if that's Domek, it probably hits him right in the sweet spot, but Cato's trying to go up for it and get his feet in bounds, just not able to bring that one down.
Trojan football brought to you by Red Rock Canyon Grill, known for creating the best flavors of the Southwest, like the fan favorite chicken enchilada platter and famous wood-fired rotisserie chicken. Red Rock Canyon Grill on Riverside Drive, where flavor steals the show. Here's a pass down the sideline and into the end zone. Caleb Barnett, touchdown Trojans, or is it? Yes, it is.
That is an absolute rope from Owen Jones because there is not a huge window there. Yes, Caleb Barnett is open. He gets behind the corner, but the safety is closing quickly, and that is just a missile from Owen Jones to an in-stride Caleb Barnett, which is not easy to do with his speed. I mean, that is as flawless as you can possibly draw it up.
That's the way he has to throw that ball with two guys there. You always think you can beat one-on-one coverage, but he's having to beat one-on-two coverage there because you got a safety and a corner trying to cover Caleb, and he is just streaking down that sidelines. Nobody going to catch him.
And the extra point is good, and that might be the night for Owen Jones, who will finish 14 of 18 for 252 yards and 3 touchdowns tonight. And welcome back, Caleb Barnett. Breaking the action, 6:26 to go third quarter. It is Jinx 35 and the Moore Lions 7. This is Jinx Trojan Football on the Jinx Trojan Audio Network and Trojan TV.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
Nine-yard TD pass. It was pretty from Owen Jones down the sideline to Caleb Barnett, who has 4 catches tonight by my numbers. Catches of 44, 43, and 49 yards. 3 of his 5 catches tonight.
Just hitting dingers all night long. I don't know what he said after he caught that ball, but if I was him, I would think it would be something along the lines of, "Are you not entertained?" It is the Caleb Barnett show tonight.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Moore, and Malachi Miller is going to throw deep, and that one's overthrown for Alexander. Got a hand on it, but a bunch of flags on the field. One back near the line of scrimmage and one where the pass was almost caught.
Go ahead.
Speaking of dingers, Giancarlo Stanton just homered a 2-run shot in the 6th, and the Yankees have taken the 2-1 lead on the Dodgers.
Yeah, just what I thought. They called both of those against the Trojan defense. They called a hold. That was a double move. The receiver was trying to run kind of a hitch and go. So they're saying that he got held coming out of his break. And then when he got down the field, they're calling pass interference. So, of course, they declined the first penalty, the holding penalty, and they went ahead and took the pass interference call.
So that'll give them a first down and move it up to the Moore 35-yard line for the Lions and the third-year head coach Greg Bryan, overall 12 and 15. As the head coach of the Lions, 30 seniors on this Moore team, including the quarterback Miller, and he blasts his way up to the first down marker at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Miller does that really well, Rob. I mean, he shows the handoff to the running back, and then he takes off the other direction.
Yeah, really nice zone read play there and just good disguise to pick up 9 yards on first down.
Big game going on in this district for third place tonight between Norman and Deer Creek. And Norman is having their way. Last check of the Antlers. We'll check on that score in a moment. Here's a running play on 2nd and 1. Not much, but enough for a first down across the 45 to the 46.
We'll go check Trojan birthdays at some point.
We are going to do that here in a second. Absolutely. Thanks for the reminder.
It's a good night.
Yes, it is. Another first down, so it makes it 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line on the run by Williams, his first run of the night, Jaden Williams. Next week, Trojans are back home for senior night, Friday night against Enid, and then back here in the Oklahoma City area on Thursday, November 7th, to close out the regular season at Edmond North. And we have a timeout. So, no, we have a penalty procedure. So that gives us a chance. Are you ready? Oh, that's the wrong song. Let's try
Come on,
this.
DJ Don.
In the club. It's your birthday, Shorty. It's Rob Labor's birthday today.
Hey, one of my good friends from the Education Service Center has a birthday today. Dr. Amy Hudson, Executive Director of Student Services. As well as my good buddy, Rob Labor. Happy birthday, Amy and Rob.
Here's a first down pass, and another penalty goes down.
I could say that, aside from being home with my family, or maybe at a barbecue restaurant, or possibly on the golf course, or with a fishing pole in my hand, or, watching one of my other teams. Outside of that, there is no place I'd rather be than here in the booth with you guys tonight.
We barely made the top 5.
Maybe OLI, maybe outside looking in, but yeah, top 5 adjacent for sure.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate you celebrating your 43rd birthday today. Kewan Jones had a birthday Tuesday. Alec Montgomery, another former Trojan, had a birthday Tuesday. Brody Henderson's dad, Scott, a birthday this week, and a birthday yesterday, Larry Wilkie. Happy birthday, Coach Wilkie.
Longtime wrestling coach, helps coach the girls program right now. Longtime assistant principal at East Elementary. Happy birthday, Coach Wilkie.
Another first down as the Trojans are moving more upfield with penalties, and Miller runs out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5 or a gain of 4.
Well, the reason he ran out of bounds was number 15, Sam Stone, wasn't it, Rob? He was trying to turn the corner, and Sam shows his speed and athleticism, won't let him get turned upfield. Tries to hit him with a stiff arm, but Sam is able to take him from the numbers to the sidelines.
Yeah, able to fight that off, and I think against most guys one-on-one, that's a matchup that you would favor Malachi Miller 9 times out of 10, but Sam Stone did a great job there, kind of keeping him in front of him and running him to the boundary.
Sam, with over 300 career tackles, we mentioned last week, one of 5 players to do it. He just moved up to pass Trent Tabor for 4th on the all-time list, 310 tackles. Here's a nice move, or a nice knockdown by Stone. Speaking of him, on the receiver who tried the little catch by Mongold at the first down marker, incomplete.
That's one of those that could have been maybe a pick 6. He jumped that route.
Well, I'm going to say this. Maybe we'll have to see the Trojan TV broadcast, but maybe Sam got there before the ball did. I'm not even going to say that. He definitely brought a lot of attitude with him when he got there and separated the ball carrier or the receiver from the ball for sure. So maybe we got a break there.
Trojans up 35-7 here midway third quarter. Moore again. Or rather, this is Ozias Adams, who had 164 yards in the 21-20 win over Mustang. Been held in check here tonight.
Samaj does another great job from his safety position coming up. But you got Luke McAnally giving chase. You got Brody Henderson out there. You got Zach Fisher doing a great job. Just a lot of team defense tonight. Very well.
Leland McCoy, Scott and Matt's mom said Scott McCoy turned 42 yesterday.
Well, happy birthday, Scotty.
I got to put that on the list.
Thank you for listening to Miss McCoy.
Yes, thanks to the McCoys to listen.
So they marked him just about a half yard short here.
So it'll be fourth down. Fourth down, a half a yard. And a first down and more. Much more for Jaden Williams. Touchdown, Lions. From 35 yards out.
Rob, you see that every now and then, a 4th and short or a 3rd and short, and the defense is really stacking up around that line of scrimmage, and then the running back breaks past that initial defensive line and just heads onto the house. And he just missed a gap right there, and he went in untouched.
Yeah, Adam Gaylor's not going to like that one. That'll be frustrating for the Trojan defense for sure. Not only wanting to stop him on 4th down, but just giving up a big play like that. Something they've done a pretty decent job of limiting most of the night. But I think sorry, Don, it speaks to the athleticism, I think, and the agility, the speed of some of these more skilled players that they've got. Tough to shut this team completely down for 4 quarters.
Extra point is good, and so it now makes it 35-14 in favor of the Trojans. We'll keep you updated on some of those other scores, by the way, because, again, Owasso is being upset. Last time we checked, and Owasso's gone back ahead at halftime 18-14. Let's look at our district. Edmond North is leading in Enid 14-7. Both of those teams at the basement of this district at 0-4. Mustang is getting beat in the third quarter at Bixby. The Spartans lead at 36-21, so the Broncos have held tough tonight at Bixby. Union is at home and all over BA tonight, 55-14. And I mentioned that Norman Deer Creek score. See if I can find that. Norman 34, Deer Creek 14 at halftime. That's kind of a surprise. Not that Norman would be ahead, but by that much. Bixby leads the district at 4-0. Jinx, Deer Creek, and Norman are all 3-1, but the Trojans have already defeated Deer Creek and Norman this year, so they hold the second position in this district. Here's the onside kick, and nicely covered by the Trojans at the 41-yard line. And that is Bowen Wearsback, who does a nice job on special teams, one of the seniors on this team.
So you talked about Owen Jones possibly that last series being his last, and I can't see for sure whether Kaiser is coming in or, Kazar is coming in, or if it's Owen.
And it will be Owen. Trojan football brought to you by A-Plus Roofing, providing the metro area with high-quality roofing and gutter services. 918-GET-ROOF, located just 2 blocks from Allen Trimble Stadium. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Logan Finch in at running back. And he'll pick up 4 yards. I thought that we had mentioned in the injury update before the game, brought to you by Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma, that Aiden Jordan was expected to be back tonight, but not playing. Instead, Logan Finch gets the call.
Aiden's suited up. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
They do have Finch in right now, the senior, and he's come in and played some moments from time to time, and so he's got the ball that last carry.
13 carries for 51 yards this year on the season.
Is that Cato there?
That was Cato. Up to near midfield, a gain of 3. 3rd and 3 coming up.
So it makes it a manageable down here, Rob.
Yeah, and sticking with Finch for this series, on a 3rd and 3, this would normally be, pretty automatic Katie Jones territory, but putting it up in the air and looked like they made it.
They did indeed at the 45-yard line. See who gets up from the bottom of that.
Cato is the one that got the ball.
Okay.
And he got swallowed up pretty quickly. That's a route. That's an inside route, just like a little choice route right in the middle in front of those linebacker, in between linebacker and safety there, Rob, that Cato has run really well. And you usually think that's kind of a big tight end or H-back kind of position, but Cato runs that really well.
Gain on 6 of the last play. Owen wants to throw deep. Instead, he throws to the 40 and down there. And that's Stanford.
Yeah.
Samaj's first catch of the night, I believe. I think he had one earlier, but it was taken away by a penalty, if I recall. And Owen Jones, 17-21 for 266 yards. He's nearing his career high. He throws it deep. There's your career leader and passing yardage for a game for Owen Jones, and Caleb Barnett with another big catch inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line.
Really interesting formation. They have 3 running backs right next to the quarterback. Samaj goes out on a wheel route to the right, and Barnett runs an in route from his position there, and he hits Caleb just running away from that guy one-on-one, hits him in stride.
Down to the 8-yard line. Gain of 32 on the last play, and look at this run by Finch. Did he get in?
They called it.
They did indeed. Touchdown Trojans for Logan Finch, and that is his first career varsity touchdown.
Well, he got hit, I think, around the 4 or 5 yard line, and then just dragging defenders all the way to the goal line, and one last surge there to dive and break the plane. Just great effort by Logan Finch, getting into the game and taking full advantage of his opportunity.
Logan said, I don't get down by the goal line. I'm going to make this count, baby. Great job, Logan.
Yes, he did. 8-yard TD run. Noah Carter's extra point is through the right upright. So with 1:41 to go here in the third period, the Trojans have now improved their lead to 42-14. And one of the things that's impressive about this Trojan team tonight, both times that Moore has scored a touchdown, the Trojans have answered right back, Rob.
Yeah, they've had a good response to really every piece of, I guess, small adversity that you could say in this game. You know, they haven't really faced any major trouble, but overcoming some penalties, overcoming some mistakes, putting nice drives together, finishing drives, converting on third down consistently. It's been a really complete performance so far by this offense. One thing I was going to say, too, guys, about Caleb Barnett, right? It's one thing to have speed at the receiver position. A lot of guys that play on the perimeter have speed. It's another thing to combine that speed with the route running and the hands. And he has shown both of those things tonight, that he can get the separation, that he can turn defenders around, and that he can snag those balls, maybe that even aren't perfectly thrown. Most of those have been thrown really well, but he's made some difficult catches, been able to locate the ball, has shown some sticky fingertips tonight, and just an unreal performance out of him and the rest of this offense.
Kick into the end zone, and so the Trojans will take, or the Lions will take over 1st and 10 at the 20. It is time for this day in Trojan history, and it's brought to you by Window World of Tulsa, longtime locally owned and operated company in the Tulsa area for your exterior remodeling. WindowWorldTulsa.com. Well, it was on this date not long ago, 2019. The Trojans went to Norman after having lost a couple of early season games, still ranked number 3, put up 27 first-quarter points, and beat number 2 Norman on this date 5 years ago, 49-25. Will Cox was the star of the game. He rushed for 173 yards, 3 touchdowns on 24 carries. Also had a 63-yard screen pass from Stephen Kittleman, who went 12 for 17 in that game for 204 yards.
Rob, was that the night you froze to death on the sidelines, or was that a different?
There's several of those nights. I think they all kind of run together for me. So yeah, I don't know. I might get used to this booth thing. You know, pretty cozy up here.
I was up in the booth and I saw how cold you were when you came back up. That night.
One of those nights it rained.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, yeah, it was brutal.
See, I was remembering you this night in Trojan football history.
Appreciate you remembering the suffering. Yeah, it's one thing to be cold. It's another thing to be cold and wet. So I think I went through a few pairs of socks that night.
That was the game that Cade Norton, who's now pitching in the Cubs system, as we have a 3rd and 10 coming up for the Moore Lions after a couple of incomplete passes. But Cade Horton put on a heck of a show. I think he ran for 200 and passed for 200, and no quarterback's ever done that against the Trojans. But Cade Horton did it that night. Speaking of prolific nights against the Jinx Trojans, we had one here 2 years ago when the Trojans won 49-41. The Moores had a couple of quarterbacks named Dayton Wolf and Denver Wolf, and we'll talk about them as we move along. Here's a pass caught at the 26-yard line and downed immediately by Samaj Stanford, who finishes him off after Caleb Dillard was the initial tackler on John L. Alexander. Short of the first down.
Yeah, I was thinking one of the Wolves brothers was at Westmore and the other was at Moore. I thought, or at least maybe started there.
I think you're right.
Earlier,
yeah.
There's open transfer, and we can talk about what that means after this play.
4th and 2, the 28, if they decide to go for it here with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Jinx leading 42-14. Surely you wouldn't think so, but Miller again has done this several times and then dropped back to punt. I think they're just trying to get Jinx to jump off sides. Nope, they're going to run it, and Miller is going to give him a try it and not going to make it. He is denied by the Trojans on defense inside the 30-yard line, and Adam Gaylor is fist pumping on the other side.
Yeah, great stand. Miller fakes the handoff, and then he takes off around the left side, but the Trojans have adjusted that. They've seen that many times. Stop it, and the ball goes over. But we're talking about what the open transfer means in this district, which basically means that students in one high school pattern can transfer or move to another high school. And so what has happened with a lot of these programs is when one school gets hot, you see a lot of guys move and matriculate to that area, right? And so Southmore had some great teams for a while, and we faced face them from time to time, and in Westmore and more, and so that has definitely affected all three programs. Here's Finch again.
He pays the price as he gets from the 27 down to about the 23-yard line, a gain of 4, and that'll take care of the third quarter. We come back to Moore. We'll start the fourth quarter with the Trojans leading the 9th-ranked Moore Lions 42-14 on the Jinx Audio Network and Trojan TV.
Our pets are more than just pets. They're our people, our family. And when they get sick, we want them to be cared for like family. At Woodland West, pet care is personal. We care for your animals the same way we care for our own. As the most comprehensive facility in the Tulsa area for everything from diagnostics to treatment, you can trust that our team of compassionate veterinary experts are delivering the care your animal deserves. Your pet is always there for you. Let us be there to keep them in good health. Woodland West Animal Hospital.
No matter the challenge, rising up has always been the Cherokee way. Adversity and triumph are chiseled into our DNA, which gives us the grit and endurance to go further for our customers, our employees, and our tribe. We march forward together in the pursuit of excellence because we are Cherokee, and together we will rise.
Trojans have exploded tonight in game number 8 of the 2024 season. 49 points tonight. Lead Moore 49-14, and it's Caleb Barnett. 7 catches, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns. His 197 yards receiving is 5th highest in Trojan history, passing Garrett Mills, who had 191 against Rogers in 2001.
Well, and that was only one half, I'm sure.
Yes, probably right. Correct. Running play, coming left. Ozias Adams, a sophomore, shows you why he is so tough. Clark Carricker couldn't hang on to him, and he goes from the 20 up to the 37, a gain of 17.
Yeah, still most of the starters in on the defensive side of the ball for the Trojans, so Sticking with it here early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the only one you see out right now is Samaj. You got Carricker in for him, but of course Samaj has also been playing a lot of offense tonight.
By the way, over 300 yards passing for Owen Jones tonight. That is a career high. And the first time Trojans have had a 300-yard passer in quite some time.
Well, and we've talked about Barnett, but Owen has really found a lot of different guys to get in the rotation. I mean, he had Cato with some really tough catches in the middle and stuff like that, and of course Domek has made some catches, so he's really used a lot of different guys.
Touchdown to McAnally earlier in the game.
Yeah.
And a career high 4 touchdown passes. The blitz is on, and Miller's flushed out. He runs up the middle. He'll get the 45 and run out of bounds across the 50, but a flag down in the backfield.
Multiple flags down. Another one came from the Jinx sideline there toward the end of that play, so I think there's going to be a couple called here on the Lions.
The first one was definitely holding in the backfield.
While they sort that out, Moore mentioned Gary Darnell, a player from 1965, went on, played linebacker at OSU, was a head coach in college at Tennessee Tech, interim coach at one time at a couple of major colleges, but was one of the top defensive coordinators around the country in the 90s, 2000s. Wes McCaleb played here in 1986 and, of course, was later a Jinx assistant, offensive coordinator in the early days of Alan Trimble's tenure. Terry Pritchard, a great tight end, Frank Romero, who both played at OU. One of my favorites was Terrion Adams, who was a running back, went on at the University of Tulsa.
Corey Ivy played here.
Corey Ivy,
teams.
yeah,
Went to University of Oklahoma.
Defensive end. Here's a screen pass caught by the receiver up at the 30. And he'll get up to about the 35, and after the penalty, we've got another penalty.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Oh, and another.
I'm just hoping we don't get anybody ejected. Ace Gilliam got into it with somebody and got a flag, and then hopefully it's not a second flag on Ace. This is where they got to keep their composure, because what you don't want to do is get cheap shotted or get hurt or do something stupid and get kicked out of a game. It's just too critical this time of the year.
Personal foul against Moore and a personal foul against the Trojans. So offsetting penalties.
Yeah, a lot of times these lopsided games, can get pretty chippy late. And now that we're into the fourth quarter with a 5-touchdown lead, I'm sure there's a good deal of chirping going on back and forth. But yeah, like you said, Coach Fox, got to keep your head, got to keep your composure, turn and walk away and get ready for the next play.
So here's some more Jinx connections.
Yeah.
We've got Brad Caleb, who was an assistant coach here and came to Jinx, worked for Coach Trimble, and then his wife Darlene was the head basketball coach here before she came to Jinx, and then Kimberly Catterson was an assistant girls basketball coach at here.
Did not know that.
Before she came up to Jinx.
3rd and 13 at the 34-yard line. Running play, Ozias Adams up to the 40, a gain of 6, but well short of the first down. Speaking of the Cattersons, one of our mutual friends, Ron Walker, Dr. Ron Walker at the University of Tulsa, is the homecoming king tomorrow for the University of Tulsa. They'll host UTSA at 2:30. So they've had a lot of goings-on over the week to celebrate Ron as the homecoming king, and we salute him. Another former Moore Lion is Daniel Highshaw, who's playing at Kansas as a running. He was a quarterback here, dual threat quarterback like this Malachi Miller, who will settle back and punt on 4th down and 7 from the 40-yard line, and it'll go out of bounds. Jinx has it inside their own 35-yard line. 9:52 to go in the game, and the Trojans leading 49-14.
Well, you mentioned TU, it hasn't gone great for the Golden Hurricanes so far this season. The one thing I like about Friday nights is that, the Trojans are getting my football weekend off to a pretty good start, because lately it's gone precipitously downhill after Friday night. It has not been great for the state of Oklahoma this year, if we're being quite honest, gentlemen.
We've had
the Oxford Miracle tomorrow.
Is that a thing? Yeah, are you speaking that into existence now?
Well, we got Trojan fan Peter McAdams listening in on the broadcast from Oxford tonight, so appreciate him listening.
Yes, I saw Peter at the buddy baseball thing the other day.
Might see a sad cutaway of Peter in the stands tomorrow.
No gain on the run there, so 2nd and 10 coming up from their own 33-yard line. We have only had one win since September between the three colleges, and that was the win at Auburn a few weeks ago. That's how bad it's.
Woof.
OSU has lost 4 in a row. TU, I think, has lost that many. It's maybe 5 in a row for the Hurricane. It's been a tough football season, college football. UCO, though, up the road here from Moore, is having a heck of a season. They're undefeated.
Well chose.
Yes. Here's a pass incomplete. Cato couldn't hang on up near the 40-yard line. Jet Kalmus is part of that, but he's being redshirted this year. Grant Lohr has been out with a hernia injury or hernia surgery, and so he's not been able to participate, but they're part of that Bronco program and really having a great year.
Parrish is there.
Asher
freshman.
Parrish.
Yeah, and then I just drew a blank. Our safety, Joey
Haber.
Yeah.
Thank you. 3rd and 10 at the 33-yard line. 49-14 Trojans. Back is Gazar. Oh, throws it over the head of the receiver, and the receiver looked like he pushed the defender down.
I wonder if they're going to call offensive pass interference here. Talking about starters, the starters are pretty much in for Jinx here, with the exception of we made a substitute at quarterback with Landon Kazar in now instead of Owen Jones. And, of course, Finch is back there at running back again.
Nashua Carlson was the intended receiver. Number 82, number 44 comes into the game for Trojans. That's Maurice Corey. That's Braxton Daniel, beg your pardon, the tight end.
They did call it against the Lions. I wasn't quite sure. I thought that's what the call should have been. So kudos to the crew.
To the crew, Robert Morales and his crew.
Note the time, everybody. Note the time.
I've said it before.
Moves it up to the 47-yard line. Finch across the 50. He is hard to bring down. He's already scored once. He's looking for more. Oh, and a flag comes down on the Moore sideline, away from every. Oh no, well, there was a Moore player there.
I think it's going to be something with Caleb Barnett and the cornerback over here. The corner ended up in the Moore bench with his helmet off, and so it's going to be a sideline warning. Okay, that makes some sense. But, Finch is a dude with tude right now. I mean, he is running with some real attitude and making some things happen. He is just running through guys and running over guys, and punishing run right there by Logan Finch.
Yeah, watching KD run all season, I mean, it's inspiring. And obviously Logan Finch picking up right where KD left off, just busting tackles and kind of getting low and grinding out some tough yards after contact there. So it's great to see. And Kazar, another guy who has made the most of his opportunities this season when he's come in relief of Owen Jones. Played the majority of the game last week against Deer Creek and really delivered a solid performance for the Trojans.
Went 16 for 21. A couple of touchdowns to KD. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line of Moore. It's Finch again. Burrowing for 5 yards to the 15. So tomorrow, let's see, 11 o'clock OU at Ole Miss, 2:30 Oklahoma State at Baylor here on 1170 KOTV AM, News on 6, and then on Big Country 99.5 UTSA at TU, and we have a timeout, so we'll take a break with 8:18 to go fourth quarter for the injured Trojan player, with the Trojans leading Moore 49-14 on the Jinx Audio Network and Trojan TV.
See who that was?
No, I can't see who it is. Looks like it's not good though.
Maybe Finch. They came out in a hurry.
the injured player is being helped off the field. Looks like it's a left knee or left ankle after a 5-yard run, so let's hope he's okay. Eventually, the Trojans have had a ton of ankle injuries this season. So Finch will come out, and Jamorthan Henderson, who had 1 carry for 4 yards last week, expected to come in here unless they bring Aiden Jordan in, who's missed the last couple of games. He's played in 3 games. Now it's going to be Henderson, who wears number 35, 6'1", 160 sophomore. 2nd and 5 from the Moore 15-yard line. Trojans leading 49-14. Henderson to the outside, and he lost the football. Trojans haven't turned it over in 4 games. Let's see if the Trojans got it back, and they did. And covering it was 73 Malik Craig, starting right guard.
Rob Malik saved you.
Yes, he saved us all right there. Gain of 1 on the play. 3rd down and 4 coming up. Okay, so you're right, Coach. We were talking about great quarterbacks here. It was on this field, but it was Westmore when Dayton Wolf had 381 yards passing and 95 yards rushing. Here's a pass into the end zone. You can put 6 more on the board for the Trojans. Touchdown, Jinx.
And I lost it if that was Cato or if that was
Cato.
My gosh, you talk about a guy who just a vacuum cleaner and just sucks those balls out of the air. I mean, he is just got those hands. I mean, that was one of those rope throws that you talked about earlier with Owen, right? I mean, he fired that dart right at that pylon, and great job right there by Cato.
Yeah, it looked like the safety coming through kind of flashed in front of him too, and might have had a play on that ball, but it ends up being another great catch by Jalen Cato. And Don, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I think Landon Kazar now in backup duty has thrown a touchdown pass in 3 games in a row,
Correct.
right? He had one against Mustang late, had a couple against Deer Creek to KD Jones, and now here against Moore. So showing that he's a more than capable backup and not afraid to step up and sling it.
Impressive. 4 touchdown passes in 3 games, and so the Trojans are busting loose, man. It's been a while since they put 50 plus on the board. 56-14 with 7:28 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Is it too late, you think, to get Jay Wilkinson to Oxford, Mississippi tomorrow? Can we get the guy an Uber or something?
Let's start the campaign right now. I'm all about it. Hey, also going on this weekend, tomorrow, be in Stillwater tomorrow for the first, I think this is the first, might be the 2nd annual Special Olympics fall games that they're doing in OSU, right?
Right.
Doing equestrian, football, and even, I think it's unified cheer. So we're going to go over and watch a little football tomorrow in Stillwater.
Yeah, flag football, they do a great job with that in the fall, and so good luck to all those athletes participating in those sports.
Carter's kick into the end zone, and so the Lions will take over 1st and 10 at the 20 with plenty of time left here in the 4th quarter, 7:28. Don't forget the News on 6 tonight on 1170 can keep you updated on all the high school scores from around the area, as Bigsby is well out in front of Mustang tonight in the 4th quarter, 57-21. Norman 41, Deer Creek 20 in the 4th quarter. And the only other scorer from this district that we are concerned about is Edmond North in the 3rd quarter, leading at Enid 14-7. 6 of 8 teams out of the district into the playoffs as the pass is wide from Malachi Miller up at the 25-yard line.
We do have some backups now in with the mixture of some of the other guys. So you got DJ Carter, who's been playing in several different rotations. He's at one corner. You got Lincoln Middlestead at the other corner. I think you still have Jace Hager out there. You got Zach Fisher still out there.
Here is a running play up at the 33-yard line. Goes Elijah Moon.
And I'm sorry, actually, that's not Jace. That's Clark Carricker in there. I misread 5 and 6. You got Julian Tugwell in there, defensive line.
Tugwell's been a nice backup at offense and defense on the lines.
Devin Whalen is in there at the defensive line position as well.
So let's go back to the last time we were here and faced the Moore Lions and won 49-41. Denver Wolf was their quarterback. He threw for 501 yards in that game. Remember, they had back-to-back successful onside kicks and made a game of it, and Jinx escaped 49-41. I would like to have checked Adam Gaylor's blood pressure that game 2 years ago and check it tonight. It's got to be a lot different.
Well, they actually kicked 3 onside kicks.
Was it 3 onside kicks in a row?
They got the 2 of them.
That's right.
Finally got the last one to seal the deal.
Yeah, that's right.
But because they scored in a hurry.
Yes.
And so they actually scored 21 points and kicked that third.
In a high school game.
Yeah, I was on the sideline, Rob, and it was colder than tonight. I want you to feel bad for me.
It was impressive. 501 yards. Here's a pass up to the 46-yard line. DJ Carter on the coverage.
But I will say this, that illustrates something that Adam Gaylor was good about. There were 501 yards passing, which is not great, but you still found a way to win the game, right? And I think we actually had a pick 6 that helped us, or as well as maybe a special teams punt return or a kickoff return for a touchdown that helped us out. But, Adam Gaylor, even when his defense gives up yards, just finds a way to make enough stops to win the game.
Well, and that brings up an interesting point. They're giving up 5 yards per play this year, and pretty even with regard to 142 yards passing, 143 yards rushing. But again, they're not giving up a lot of points.
Well, just being able to limit those big plays. We saw a couple of the quarterback runs early on one of those scoring drives from Moore, and then the one that got them to 14 there on a 4th and short. But, other than that, they're just not giving up those chunk plays. They're really making opposing offenses earn every single inch. And, I think from a defensive standpoint, that's really all you can ask for. Pitching shutouts is hard. You're not going to have nights like you did against Deer Creek last week all the time with some of the talented offenses and athletes in this state. So, I will say I question whether there's very much wiggle room in Adam Gaylor's blood pressure to begin with, because I think he's either peaking or almost peaking pretty much all the time.
Would agree with that. 3rd and 4 at the Jinx 47 for the Moore Lions. 4.5 minutes to go. A run of 1 yard by Elijah Moon. Now a run of 5 to set up 3rd and 4. Again at the Trojan 47-yard line. Malachi Miller, the quarterback, started at Santa Fe, then transferred here to Moore. Had a concussion earlier in the season. He also got hurt last year. So he's been beset by injuries, and the 3rd down and 4 will turn into a 4th and about 3.
You had Pangbert in there. You had Orlando Williams in there. You had Carricker in there, helping to shut that down. Devin Whalen in there. So 4th down situation. You'd think that Miller's going to have the ball in his hands. 4th and short.
Trojans are 10-1 overall in this stadium's history. Their first game ever at this stadium was the 1982 championship. They won their 2nd state championship, winning the first in 79 and then winning their 2nd state championship 1982. They beat Midwest City here on this field 10-7. Here's Miller trying to get to the marker, and he can't do it. What a nice play that was. And the Trojans just continue to make outstanding open field tackles. That's Bowen Wearsback.
Huge job right there on getting Miller down out in the open. And it's interesting you bring up that 1982 game, Don. I was a freshman in high school, and I sat right over in the bleachers right over there to watch the Trojans beat the Midwest City Bombers for the state championship game. And the Trojans had they called it the Silver Eagle. They had a Trojan Pride bus that was a Silver Eagle bus, and I thought, what kind of school district has their own bus like that? And
was it a double-decker?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe so.
I've been told by Scott Van Dyke.
Maybe it was.
That
I remember that.
Back in the day, I don't know if it was then, but at one time the Trojans did travel in some sort of double-decker bus at one time. We have an injured player for the Moore Lions with 3:15 left. Let me remind you that Monday nights here on 1170 AM News on 6, Mike Gundy has his Coaches Show. And then at 7 o'clock, the TU Coaches Show with Kevin Wilson. We'll be on with Keith Riggs Tuesday night at 6:30, as we are each Tuesday night on the Jinx Radio Show. And then Wednesday night on Cox Channel 3, Your View Channel 3, the TV show with Coach Riggs. And then you can see that if you don't have Cox TV. You can watch that on streaming on YouTube with Trojan TV at 7 Wednesday nights. And it's available, obviously, after that. Preston Mongold been in on quite a few tackles tonight. Also, Arvest Bank and Kevin Saban donating $1 for every point scored tonight. So he's got a piggy bank $56 tonight, and that'll put him over $200 for donations for Trimble Strong Foundation, who has that extra mile. Saturday night coming up November 9th.
They were always looking for volunteers and people to help out, and so if you're interested in finding out more about that, then you can check out the Trimble Strong Foundation on their website or their social media feeds, Facebook page. Just a great opportunity to serve people and families with special needs children and their kids, and just giving parents a night out of entertainment and taking care of the kids and having a good time too. So appreciating Courtney Trimble and the Trimble Strong Foundation for that special event.
You bet. And they've just now partnered with the Bridges Foundation, as we have a gain of about 5 here for Henderson to set up 3rd and short in Moore territory, Moore 45-yard line. Yeah, the Bridges Foundation got to, and we have a new running back. That's not Henderson in. Could be Zane Seeger, a 5'9", 160 sophomore, and a running back for the Trojans. But got the pleasure last February to help do a fundraiser for Bridges Foundations on a bingo night. Coach Riggs was there, and Courtney Trimble, and we had a great night, and hope to do another one here in this upcoming February. Troy Tabor, Scott West were a big part of that. First down, Trojans, down to the 40-yard line. We're under 2 minutes to play. 56-14 Trojans.
Got some different Trojans in there now. You got Jackson Close on the offensive line. You got Landon Webb on the offensive line.
Got Cooper Courtney at quarterback. Union knocking off Broken Arrow in the third quarter, 69-21. Norman in the fourth quarter beating Deer Creek 48-20. Edmond North leading at Enid in the fourth quarter, 14-7. Norman North all over UConn tonight, 42-14. They're about to, after losing their first 6, about to win 2 in a row. They upset Broken Arrow last week. Another fine run by Seeger. Owasso still hanging in, third quarter, leading Edmond Santa Fe 18-14. Wow, that's a shocker. And Bigsby all over Mustang, 57-21. Edmond Memorial in the fourth quarter, leading Westmore 16-0.
And Antonio Elliott in there on the offensive line now, as well as Thomas Sanders playing that fullback position. Doing a nice job getting some room for running back to pick up some of those yards.
And Edmond Santa Fe's just gone ahead of Owasso, 20-18 in the third quarter. That would be the upset of the season, no question. Santa Fe, we faced them in the season opener. They were ranked 5th coming in, but had lost their first 7 games. I think they finally got their first, or lost their first 6 games. I think they finally won a game last week. Yeah, they won at Westmore 21-17. Demarius Robinson had over 200 yards rushing, so maybe they got some things clicking. This one comes to an end here at Moore Stadium, where the Trojans have won yet again. They've won 11 in a row here in this stadium, or I beg your pardon, they have only one loss. They're 11-1 overall in this stadium, and they win it convincingly here, 56-14. We'll hear from the head coach, Keith Riggs, when we continue and head to the Classic Chevrolet postgame show on the Jinx Audio Network and Trojan TV.